I married Xun'er, but she refuses to consummate the marriage. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 101 Xiao Yan. Oh no, my strange fire is gone again. As Queen Medusa turned back into a colorful little snake, Gu Fei's inner heat finally dissipated completely. He exhaled a breath of hot air, slowly stood up and stretched. Then, he skillfully picked up the colorful little snake and put it in his sleeve. Through the system's emotional value prompt, Gu Fei knew that when his soul was wandering just now, Queen Medusa had some murderous intentions. But fortunately, Queen Medusa finally made a very wise choice. I have been in seclusion for several days this time. Xiao Yan should be impatient to wait. Gu Fei walked out of the stone room, whispering softly, and then planned to walk towards the medicinal materials square. He didn't know Xiao Yan's situation yet. Brother Gu Fei, go and see Xiao Yan quickly. She is not in a good condition. At this time, Zan came over. Xiao Yan, what's wrong with her? Gu Fei frowned, and then his figure flashed and disappeared on the spot. When he appeared again, he had come to the side of the light cocoon. On the surface of the light cocoon, the purple light flickered, just like the beating of a heart. Gu Fei could sense that whenever the light of the light cocoon changed, the energy of the surrounding heaven and earth would be absorbed into the light cocoon, making the light of the cocoon brighter. Nothing is wrong, it's just that this little girl has eaten too many natural treasures recently but has not digested them, and now she is going to advance. Gu Fei's face showed a trace of helplessness. If Xiao Yan were to advance at this time, it would probably take more than half a year to complete it completely. If she were to complete it slowly by herself, without Xiao Yan's help, it would be inconvenient for Gu Fei to leave the Dan realm, and he couldn't just leave Xiao Yan here. Brother Gu Fei, is Xiao Yan okay? After a while, Zan also rushed over and asked Gu Fei with some concern. Xiao Yan is going to advance. During this period, I will help her speed up her advancement. I may have to embezzle the medicinal materials you have here, Gu Fei replied directly. No problem, Brother Gu Fei, feel free to use them. Zan didn't care. Although he had collected so many medicinal herbs, he didn't know how to refine pills. Now that he had a chance to make friends with an 8th-grade alchemist, how could he be stingy? Thank you. Next, I will refine some liquid medicine to help Xiao Yan advance faster. I don't want to be disturbed during this period. Don't worry, from today on, no one else will come into this hall. Zan nodded and then retreated. After Zan left, Gu Fei's soul power immediately swept the medicinal herb square, and then dozens of medicinal herbs quickly flew towards Gu Fei. Then, Gu Fei took out a medicine cauldron and placed it on the ground. A flame entered the medicine cauldron from his palm and began to refine the medicinal herbs. Under the forging of the fusion fire, these medicinal herbs quickly turned into medicinal essence. Finally, all the medicinal essences gathered and merged together to become energy liquid medicine. The refined liquid medicine was evenly applied by Gu Fei on the surface of the purple light cocoon. The huge medicinal power quickly penetrated into the light cocoon, making it brighter and brighter. At this rate, it should only take more than a month for her to break out of the cocoon. Gu Fei took a look at the purple light cocoon, and then began to sit cross-legged and practice. A month is nothing for a practitioner like him. It's just right that he can also calm down and comprehend the soul realm he just broke through. As for Xian and King Lin, they stayed in Shangdan City, and there were Lion King and Skyfire Venerable to take care of them, so they didn't have to worry about danger. Northwest Continent, Canaan Academy. Teacher, we are a step late again, and the strange fire has been taken away by Gu Fei. In a room somewhere in the academy, Xiao Yan was very anxious to communicate with Yao Lao in the ring. After a long journey, he finally arrived at Canaan Academy. When he came here, Xiao Yan hardly asked around, and naturally heard some legends about Gu Fei's visit here. Teacher, didn't you say that an ordinary person can only refine one kind of strange fire in his lifetime? How can Gu Fei refine so many strange fires? When Yao Lao was silent, Xiao Yan continued to ask. At this time, he was a little hesitant about whether to continue practicing the burning technique. Logically speaking, There should be no other way in this world except the burning technique to allow people to refine multiple strange fires. In the ring, Yao Lao's face was also surprised. Unless that person also practiced the burning technique. After a moment, Yao Lao made a guess. Yanzi, do you still remember your senior brother who betrayed his teacher and ancestors that your teacher told you about before? Yao Lao said slowly. Back then, he colluded with the people of the Soul Palace for that technique, betrayed his teacher and ancestors, but his technique was only incomplete. Teacher, you mean that Gu Fei may have obtained the incomplete technique of the burning technique from Han Feng, so he can refine multiple kinds of strange fire? Yan's eyes flashed with a flash of realization. Before, not long after entering the Black Horn region, Yan had heard about Medicine King Han Feng. He also learned from Yao Lao about Han Feng's act of betraying his teacher and destroying his ancestors. Well, considering all these things, this is the only way to explain it. Yao Lao nodded firmly. Teacher, if this is true, then Gu Fei will also continue to look for strange fires. Yan hesitated. At this time, he almost had no hope for the burning technique. After all, the gap between him and Gu Fei was too big. So big that he didn't have the idea of competing. Yanzi, don't be too discouraged. This world is vast and boundless. He alone can't take away all the strange fires. You still have a chance. Yao Lao didn't want to give up. He continued to comfort Yan, hoping that Yan could complete what he hadn't completed. Moreover, he learned from the burning technique that in order to be resurrected, he must have someone with multiple strange fires to help him refine a new body. Okay, teacher. Although this technique is very weak now, it is the only one that can give me a chance to surpass ordinary people and reach an unprecedented peak. Yan hesitated for a moment, and finally decided to continue practicing the burning technique. Yanzi, it's good that you can think this way. Yao Lao nodded with satisfaction. Teacher, since Canaan Academy only has one young fire, should we continue to stay here? Yan asked. The young fire of the fallen heart flame in the Tanfan refining chi tower can also emit heart fire, which is very helpful for your practice. After you break through the Ling, consider leaving. Yao Lao sighed lightly, with a solemn expression on his face. Because the strange fire he was looking for twice was taken by someone else, all his original plans and arrangements were disrupted. Chapter 102 Yan, men all like girls with amazing figures. 1 month later, Dan Realm. Gu Fei, who was sitting cross-legged beside the purple light cocoon, opened his eyes again. He took out a bottle of liquid medicine and evenly applied it on the surface of the light cocoon. During this month, he repeated this operation every 3 days. At this time, not only the runes on the surface of the light cocoon were getting brighter and brighter, but also there were faint cracks spreading, and there were also traces of purple light in the cracks. Not long after applying the medicine this time, the whole hall suddenly trembled violently. Finally, I will succeed in the promotion. Looking at the light cocoon that suddenly burst out with bright light, Gu Fei's face was full of smiles. Under Gu Fei's gaze, the purple light on the light cocoon became stronger and stronger. In the end, there was finally a slight click. Immediately, the tiny cracks on the light cocoon suddenly cracked quietly. There were more and more cracks, and in the end, a large piece of the cocoon shell suddenly fell off. As the first piece fell off, the light cocoon was like a chain reaction, bursting quickly and shooting out purple light beams. The purple light column rushed into the sky, and finally collided with the space blockade set up by Gu Fei, and burst out waves of ripples. Gu Fei stared at the huge purple light column. With his eyesight, he could vaguely see a vague figure inside. The light column lasted for a moment, then faded, and after a moment, it finally dissipated completely. And the figure inside also appeared directly in Gu Fei's sight. The figure that appeared was naked, and a faint purple light lingered on her body, making her look quite charming. A long and smooth purple hair was scattered down, directly falling to the perky buttocks. This mature body with convex front and back, how could it still be the charm of the little girl at the beginning? Is this Yan? Gu Fei looked at the girl with a charming and mature figure with a look of surprise. Although he had some psychological preparation before, when Gu Fei really saw the appearance of Yan after the change, he was still very surprised. He couldn't imagine that the little kid before would develop so well, still so tempting. Yan in the beam of light also stretched lazily at this moment. Suddenly, the already tempting curves were perfectly highlighted. Yan opened her eyes lazily, looked at Gu Fei, who was still a little surprised beside her, and her heart was full of mischief, and she threw a shy look at Gu Fei. Gu Fei shuddered all over after receiving this look, and then shook his head with a bitter smile. This girl was still a child. With a move of his body, Gu Fei took out a set of robes from the ring without looking away, and just wanted to hand it to Yan, but his palm still touched the other's body, and the latter trembled all over. Her body suddenly began to shrink at a speed visible to the naked eye. In just a few breaths, a beautiful woman with a delicate figure once again turned into a naked little girl. Haha. Yan's transformation made Gu Fei couldn't help laughing out loud. Yan was also shocked by her own transformation, but when she saw that her body had changed back to the little girl she was before, her two willow eyebrows immediately stood up. Damn the transformation grass, it made me unable to grow up. Woo woo, brother Gu Fei, you are so bad, you actually laughed at me. Looking at Gu Fei, who was gloating in front of her, Yan couldn't help but rush over in anger, patting Gu Fei's chest with her little hands. Okay, put on your clothes. Gu Fei put the clothes on Yan and said with a smile, actually, you look pretty good now, very cute. No. Hearing this, Yan shook her head repeatedly. Sister Xiao told me that men like those with good figures, when they see beautiful women, they don't even blink their eyes. Brother Gu Fei, are you the same? Let's leave the Dan realm first. Gu Fei was a little embarrassed by the little girl's words. He didn't answer, but urged Yan to leave here. After all, the two of them had been in the Dan realm for more than a month. Xiao, King Lin and the others don't know the specific situation of the two yet, so they are very worried. Big guy, goodbye. When leaving, Yan waved goodbye to Zhongzhan. Zhongzhan didn't mind Yan's address to him at all, with a silly smile on his face. In the evening, in Shangdan City, in the lobby on the first floor of the inn where Xiao, King Lin and his group stayed, a woman in black with a veil looked at a place on the second floor with a melancholy look. Why hasn't Master Gu Fei come back yet? The woman in black was the demon girl Xiao Yan. Originally, she was very happy to know that Gu Fei did not leave after taking away the 3,000 yen Ho. But now, Gu Fei has not appeared for more than a month, as if he has completely disappeared. Forget it, it seems that I can't wait today. Sighing, Xiao Yan planned to leave. However, just as she turned around, in front of her sight, at the gate, a figure she had been thinking about appeared. Mr. Gu Fei, I finally see you again. Xiao Yan walked over quickly and greeted Gu Fei enthusiastically. Originally, even if Xiao Yan was wearing plain clothes, she was the focus of most people in the inn. Now, the focus has become Gu Fei. Ms. Xiao Yan, are you okay? Gu Fei's reply was surprisingly similar to the previous chance encounter on the street. Such a sentence made Xiao Yan forget everything she had prepared to say. I wonder where Mr. Gu Fei has been for more than a month. Let me find him. Xiao Yan's casual words made Gu Fei and Yan look embarrassed. The fact that the two of them secretly sneaked into the Dan realm to search for treasures should not be made public. Where they went has nothing to do with you. Yan muttered. Huh? Xiao Yan frowned slightly, and only then did she notice the little girl following Gu Fei. She focused her eyes on Yan, felt her aura, and was secretly surprised. She is so young, but she has Huang cultivation, not weaker than me. Could it be that she is the sister of Master Gu Fei? Xiao Yan had a guess in her mind. Little sister, don't get me wrong, I just care about brother Gu Fei, I don't have any other intentions. Xiao Yan explained with a smile. You are obviously interested in brother Gu Fei. Do you think I can't see it? Yan was a little straightforward. This made Xiao Yan embarrassed instantly. Ms. Xiao Yan, I think you should leave the inn first. If you continue to stay here, you can't be sure what will happen. Suddenly, Gu Fei's voice with a chill sounded, making Xiao Yan a little flustered. Chapter 103 Soul Palace Raid. Xiao Yan feels aggrieved and doubtful, and her emotion value increases by 50. Mr. Gu Fei, do you have such a big prejudice against me? If you really hate me so much, then I'll leave. The coldness in Gu Fei's voice made Xiao Yan feel very aggrieved. She asked herself, she didn't do anything excessive. Just like this, does it make him annoyed? Since you're here, Why hide? Goof ignored Xiao Yan at this time, but looked at the void somewhere in the hall. Haha, you are really worthy of being a genius who can subdue the 3,000 flames. As Goof's voice fell, there was a slight fluctuation in the void, and at the same time, a gloomy voice sounded in the hall. Then, two figures wrapped in black robes slowly emerged from the twisted space. The people of the Soul Palace are really as shady as rats. Goof looked at the two with cold eyes. What's going on? Are these people from the Soul Palace? People from the Soul Palace have actually come to Shangdan City? This sudden situation surprised some people around. It turns out that I misunderstood him. Seeing the two people, Xiao Yan realized that Goof's words were actually good for her. He knew that there would be danger in the inn, so he asked her to leave early. At this time, on the balcony of the inn, Venerable Skyfire also appeared with a frown. Protect them too. Goof sent a message to Venerable Skyfire. He understood that the people from the Soul Palace should have been squatting here for a long time, waiting for him to come back. Goof was not surprised by these. After all, the news that he went to Anta to subdue the 3,000 flames was known to most people in Anta, and it was not a secret. With the Soul Palace's infiltration ability, there might be people from them in Anta. People from the Soul Palace. You are too bold. You actually dare to commit crimes in Shangdan City. After Xiao Yan reacted, with anger on her face, she loudly rebuked the two people from the Soul Palace. I have already set up a soul barrier here. No one will find out what is happening here in a short time. Hearing this, one of the old men spoke in a deep voice. It seems that this person's soul power is not weak, and he should have reached the spiritual realm. Goof had already learned the identities of these two people through the emotional feedback. One of them was the old man Mu Gu, who was from the same school as Yao Chen. The other was the old ghost Zai Crossing. One of these two people was a 3-starred Zun, an 8th grade alchemist, and the other was a 5-starred Zun. You are very confident in yourself. At this moment, hearing the confident words of the old man Mu Gu, Goof couldn't help but smile. I still have this confidence to deal with a young man like you who has just started out. I advise you to hand over the 3,000 yen as soon as possible, and I can consider sparing your life. The old man Mu Gu obviously didn't understand the sarcasm in Goof's words, and sneered. Spare my life? I think you should just pray for your own good. Goof sneered again. As soon as he finished speaking, a huge amount of soul power surged out from his brows, turning into a soul sword that pierced the soul barrier. After the soul forging in the earth's core, Goof's soul power has almost reached the late stage of the spiritual realm. The soul barrier set up by the old man Mu Gu broke without any resistance under the attack of Goof's soul sword. As the soul barrier broke, some of the fluctuations here immediately spread. Old man Mu Gu has a surprised emotion, and the emotion value increases by 20. How is this possible? Old man Mu Gu was full of surprise. He didn't expect that the soul power of the young man Goof was so strong that the soul barrier was broken before they even started. The place of Dan Tower cannot allow the Soul Palace to run wild here. When this voice sounded, the black-robed man's face suddenly changed, looked up at the sky, and said hoarsely, Zhuan Kongcai. Great, the teacher will be here soon. You two Soul Palace minions, don't even think about leaving Shangdan City today. Hearing this voice, the worries on Xiao Ying's face just now all melted away, and she said happily, Damn it. The figure of the old man Mu Gu was suspended in the air, staring at Goof with a gloomy look. He didn't expect that he was so careful, but he was still discovered by those old guys in Danta. Now, his whereabouts have been locked. If he stays here for a long time, the strong men of Danta will probably come. Zhuan Kongcai, this matter has nothing to do with your Danta. Why do you have to meddle in it? The old ghost Zaixing, who had never spoken, shouted at the sky with a gloomy face. This is Shangdan City. If you let your soul palace run wild here, how can I explain to others? In the sky, the vicissitudes of life voice that sounded before sounded again slowly. This voice came from the void space. Obviously, the person who spoke had not arrived here at this time, but used a mysterious method to send the breath through the air. Old ghost, let's go. The old man Mu Gu knew that the situation was critical at the moment, so he decisively wanted to leave here. Come as you please, leave as you please. You are thinking too simply. Goof attacked at this time. He slapped the ground with one palm. A moment later, a pillar of fire shot out from under the feet of Old Man Gu. It is really a strange fire. Feeling the strange power in the pillar of fire, Old Man Gu had a look of joy on his face. He had been coveting this kind of thing for too long. He slapped out with one palm, and a huge energy crystal claw instantly blocked the front of the pillar of fire. Bang! In this huge energy storm, Old Man Gu took several steps back and his face was solemn again. Obviously, Goof's strength has far exceeded Old Man Gu's expectations. Originally, after he got some news, he chose to bring along the old ghost Xixing, just to deal with the Skyfire Venerable, and did not take Goof, a junior, seriously. Now, a junior actually repelled him with one move, which was too outrageous. Gu, this kid is quite something. If he is kept alive, he may be a disaster in the future. It is better to get rid of him early. Beside Old Man Gu, the old ghost who had never made a move shouted, and then stretched out his palm, with all 5 fingers pointing at Goof. His fingers trembled, and 5 sticky black mists burst out from his fingertips. The black mist, with a clattering sound, condensed into a strange black chain. The chain was entangled in the air, and with a hiss, it pierced through the void directly, and appeared above Goof's head in the blink of an eye. The sudden lightning attack also made Goof's face change slightly. The old ghost who picked the stars was not a waste like Gu. His strength was close to the peak of the 5-starred sun. Even Goof had to take him seriously. Chapter 104 The Protector appears. Xian, get away. Goof sent out 2 soft forces, pushing Xian and Xiao Yan beside him away for dozens of feet. His figure also flashed quickly, avoiding the attacks of the chains. Then, Goof changed his handprints, and the monstrous strange fire surged out of his body. Then the 3 kinds of strange fire and the 2 beast fires separated and condensed rapidly. 5-wheel fire separation method. Seeing this scene, the heart of the Skyfire Venerable, who had already evacuated a long distance with King Lin, Xian, and the Lion King, jumped, and then a touch of heat emerged in his old eyes. This volume of fighting skills was obtained by the Skyfire Venerable by chance, so even in his peak period, he had never really fully unfolded the power of the 5-wheel fire separation method. Because the requirements of the strange fire were too demanding, the reason why the Skyfire Venerable took the risk to try to fuse the second fallen heart flame was largely related to the 5-wheel fire separation method. However, this almost harsh requirement is now almost satisfied by Goof. 3 kinds of strange fires are suspended in the sky. The terrifying temperature instantly makes the air in the sky dry. Fortunately, when the soul barrier was broken, the people nearby had already run away. Otherwise, such a large-scale battle would have affected many people. Refined 3 kinds of strange fires. Could it be that this person is practicing that volume of exercises? At this moment, there was an unprecedented desire in the pupils of the Old Man Gu. 3 kinds of strange fires. How is this possible? How can 3 kinds of strange fires coexist in one person? Isn't he afraid that these strange fires will conflict with each other and finally explode? Not far away, Xiao Yan and others saw this scene, and the degree of shock in their hearts was beyond words. Old ghost, this person must be kept alive. Thinking that Goof might have the kind of exercises that confuse strange fires, the Old Man Gu hurriedly shouted at the old ghost Xixing, HMPH, it's already this late, and you still have the heart to think about other things. The old ghost Xixing frowned, and he stretched out his big hand. A black big hand instantly merged into the void, and when it reappeared, it was already a few feet away from Goof. Brother Goof, you must not be in trouble. In the distance, Xian, who was taken away from the battlefield by the Skyfire Venerable, was very worried. I must work hard to fight side by side with Brother Goof in the future. She wanted to help Goof very much, but she also knew that she would be a burden if she went there now. 5-wheel separation fire formation. Facing this old ghost Xixing, whose cultivation was 4 stars stronger than his own, Goof went all out at this moment. The 5-wheel separation fire formation, which had 3 different fires, had reached the peak of the Earth-level fighting skills, and was only 1 step away from being comparable to the Heaven level. Goof stood at the center of the formation, controlling the powerful flames, and went straight to meet the big hands. The powerful fighting skills and condensed fighting spirit gave Gu Fei the ability to fight across levels. In addition, the old ghost Zhaixing had no intention of fighting at this time, so Gu Fei, with his one-star Zun cultivation, actually fought Zhaixing old ghost to a draw. Alas, old ghost, Zhuan Kongcai and the others should be here soon, so we shouldn't stay here for long. Seeing that Zhaixing old ghost couldn't take Gu Fei in a short time, old man Mu Gu sighed. He seemed to have sensed something and hurriedly urged Zhaixing old ghost to leave. Boy, your skills will belong to me sooner or later. Before leaving, a trace of unwillingness flashed in old man Mu Gu's eyes. He sneered and slapped Xiao Yan and Cao Ying, who were watching the battle from a distance. From beginning to end, Venerable Dan Hao never took action against old man Mu Gu and Zhaixing old ghost, because he knew that Gu Fei hoped that he could protect Xiao Yixian, King Lin and others. At this moment, Xiao Yan was in danger, and Venerable Dan Hao decisively blocked the huge palm print attacking Xiao Yan, but he was too busy to take care of the demon girl Cao Ying. Am I going to die? Feeling the terrifying power contained in that huge palm, Cao Ying was desperate. She was just at Huang. How could she escape the attack of a Zun strongman? Bang! After Cao Ying closed her eyes, a loud noise broke out around her body. But the imagined physical body did not collapse. A tall figure blocked her, young Master Gu Fei. Seeing that it was Gu Fei who saved her, Cao Ying's heartbeat suddenly accelerated, and the look in her eyes looking at Gu Fei was more admiring than before. Thank you, young Master Gu Fei. I don't know how to repay you for saving my life. Cao Ying bowed and saluted, and her slender jade arms slowly stretched out, with a graceful posture and a soft snake-like figure, which was very attractive. In fact, she wanted to hug Gu Fei directly from behind, but after hesitating for a moment, she gave up the idea, because she knew that if she was too frivolous, she would attract disgust. Ms. Cao Ying, you are also a friend. You don't have to take such trivial matters to heart. Hearing this, Gu Fei turned around and waved his hand casually, then suddenly paused, because Cao Ying bent over to face Gu Fei. The snow-white scenery under her neck was spectacular. Gu Fei was able to feast his eyes at a close distance, especially when Cao Ying slightly raised her head and looked at Gu Fei. Her eyes were almost thread-like, and it was simply to seduce people's souls. Let's go. Elder Mu Gu didn't care about these. He attacked Xiao Yan and Cao Ying in order to contain Gu Fei and Skyfire Venerable. At this moment, no one stopped them. The space around the old ghost Zhaixing and him became distorted. As long as they escaped into the void, even if Zhuan Kongcai came, they would not be able to catch up with the two. The people of the Soul Palace are getting more and more courageous. They actually dared to attack my ancient clan. However, at this moment, an old voice sounded in the sky outside the Holy Den City. The person who came was not Zhuan Kongcai, but the elder of the ancient clan who had been secretly protecting Gu Fei. After seeing Gu Fei and his group arrive at Shengdan City, this elder relaxed a lot and stayed far away from Shengdan City. Just now, Gu Fei fought with Elder Mu Gu and his group, and he quickly sensed it. At this moment, with the appearance of the elder of the ancient tribe in the sky, the originally distorted space around Elder Mu Gu and the old ghost Zhaixing instantly solidified. This power, could it be the advent of the saint? Feeling the space around them solidify, Elder Mu Gu and the old ghost Zhaixing were both horrified. Mu Gu, who are you going to deal with? You have hurt me so badly. Realizing that he could not leave, the old ghost Zhaixing could not help but curse at Mu Gu. That kid is from the ancient tribe. This time, we really kicked the iron plate. Mu Gu recalled what the elder of the ancient tribe said, and felt his scalp tingling. Is it the legendary ancient tribe? The old ghost Zhaixing was horrified, and he had the urge to tear Mu Gu to pieces. If Elder Mu Gu had not invited him, he would not be facing this situation today. Senior, we are from the Soul Palace. Today's incident may be a misunderstanding. Please spare us. We will leave now. Elder Mu Gu and Zhaixing wanted to beg for mercy, but the elder of the ancient clan did not give them a chance. Die. The old man in the sky just raised his hand and pressed it lightly, and Elder Mu Gu and Zhaixing turned into a cloud of blood mist and drifted away. Haha, Elder Gu Qian, I didn't expect that you were the one following me all the way. Chapter 105. Come back with me and I'll take you to meet my parents. Haha, Isn't it that many people in the clan are worried about you going out?" The old man, whom Gu Fei called Gu Yan, smiled, and his figure flashed. In just a moment, he appeared directly in front of Gu Fei. "Thank you for your hard work during this period." Gu Fei bowed to Gu Yan as a junior. "It doesn't matter, at my age, let alone 1 year, even 10 or 20 years, my cultivation will not improve much. You are different. In the future, you will definitely become the pillar of our clan. How can you let me fail?" It can be heard that Gu Yan admired Gu Fei very much and had high hopes for him. This time, he was ordered to hide beside Gu Fei. In addition to protecting Gu Fei, he was also responsible for observing and considering Gu Fei. Along the way, Gu Fei's various performances made Gu Yan very satisfied. Although Gu Yan occasionally had doubts, wondering why Gu Fei seemed to know in advance before doing many things, but in the end, he attributed all that to Gu Fei's meticulous mind and prudent work. It seems that even among the ancient races, Gu Fei is very important. After being rescued by Gu Fei, Xiao Yan kept her eyes on the latter. The tenderness in her eyes became more shocking after hearing the conversation between Gu Fei and Gu Yan. Although the Cao family is not a super family, relying on its relationship with Danta, it knows some secrets of the continent. It is said that the ancient clans do not live in the Qi continent, but stay in an independent space. Almost every one of these ancient clans has the power to shake the world. Even the top forces on the continent, such as Danta and Soul Palace, are not enough to face any ancient race. Thinking of this, Xiao Yan's eyes flashed with a trace of loneliness. Gu Fei became more and more dazzling in front of her, so dazzling that he almost swallowed her. Can she afford such a genius with a strong background? Xiao Yan has admiration emotion. Emotional value increases by 40. Xiao Yan has shock and loss emotion. Emotional value increases by 40. Gu Fei listened to the emotional value reminders that kept ringing in his mind, and glanced at Xiao Yan. This little goblin has really changeable emotions. Gu Fei secretly smacked his lips and his heart. At this moment, a gap suddenly appeared in the sky above everyone. An old man walked out of it. This person was Zhuan Kongcai, who came late. "Hello, senior." Zhuan Kongcai appeared, and when he looked at Gu Yan, his mind suddenly condensed, and he hurried forward to salute. "Yes, from what happened today, your Danta's defense needs to be strengthened." Gu Yan nodded and said lightly, "Senior, what you said is very true. This incident was indeed the negligence of our Danta, and it actually allowed the people of the Soul Palace to commit crimes in the city." Hearing this, Zhuan Kongcai responded very seriously and did not refute anything. After saying this, Zhuan Kongcai glanced at Gu Fei standing next to Gu Yan, and sighed in his heart. It seems that this young man is highly valued even in the ancient race. In just 2 months, 2 Cheng masters have come to help. Soon, Dao Yixian, Den Haozun, King Lin, and Shi Wang also came here. "Gu Fei, when do you plan to return to the tribe?" Gu Yan suddenly asked a question that Gu Fei had asked before. In fact, Gu Fei already had the answer to this question in his heart. This time, the Soul Palace directly lost to Xun, and it will definitely not let it go. With the means of the Soul Palace, they will definitely investigate secretly. At that time, Gu Fei's whereabouts will naturally be known to the people of the Soul Clan. If he continues to stay outside, there is no guarantee that the Soul Clan will do something crazy. Therefore, Gu Fei plans to return to the tribe temporarily for a while. On this trip, he must bring Yixian and King Lin back with him. As for Zone, what are your plans next? Do you want me to take you back to Dragon Island? Gu Fei looked at Xun. Xun shook her head without thinking. No. If I go back, I will be forced to drink those nasty drinks again. Brother Gu Fei, just let me follow you. I promise I will be obedient. She suddenly grabbed Gu Fei's sleeve, fearing that Gu Fei would abandon her this time. Okay, I promise you. Gu Fei nodded helplessly. Gu Fei held Yixian's jade hands and said softly, "We have known each other for so long, it's time to go back and meet the parents." Meet the parents. This sentence made Yixian stunned. She felt very nervous. After all, the parents she was going to meet this time were all powerful people from ancient races. However, she did not refuse. After a brief hesitation, she nodded happily. "Elder Gu Yan, thank you for your trouble." After making the decision, Gu Fei turned his head and looked at Gu Yan. Haha, you've been away for more than a year, and the old guys in the clan miss you very much. Don't forget to say hello when you go back. Gu Qian laughed loudly, and he did not express his opinion on Gu Fei and Xiao Yan. After speaking, he gently swiped his palm across the void, and a space crack appeared. At the chain level, a long-distance space wormhole can be easily constructed. Senior Yuan Kongcai, Ms. Cao Ying, see you again if we are destined to meet. After saying goodbye, Gu Fei, Xiao Yan, Yan and others into the space crack. See you again if we are destined to meet. Cao Ying looked at Gu Fei's back as he went away, feeling sad. She secretly vowed in her heart that she must see Gu Fei again in the future. Gu Fei was so dazzling, and she had to continue to work hard. Along the way, with the help of Gu Qian, a chain-level strongman, Gu Fei and his team arrived in the East region in just half a month. Not long after leaving the space wormhole, a huge city appeared clearly in their sight. The ancient saint city is in front. Gu Fei pointed to the huge city in front of him. When they first saw the city, Xiao Yan and the others were stunned. The entire ancient saint city was built of pale blue giant rocks. As time passed, some pale green mosses grew on the giant rocks, making the entire city look a little decayed. An unusually ancient atmosphere permeated the city. It looks a little run down here. Yan muttered. The city was a little different from what she had imagined. Gu Fei smiled slightly and said, the ancient saint city was left over from ancient times. It is said that it was built by our Daodi ancestor. The light shield contains a trace of Daodi's power. With this light shield protecting it, this ancient saint city can be said to be impregnable. The power of the Daodi. Everyone gasped and lit up when they heard this. No wonder. The closer they were to the ancient saint city, the stronger the pressure from the soul. In order to show respect for the strongman, no one is allowed to fly within 1,000 feet radius of the ancient holy city. Let's go there on foot, otherwise we will be knocked down from the sky by the pressure. After saying that, Gu Fei slowly landed on the ground, and the others followed. Chapter 106 Xun'er. He actually brought a woman back. At the gate of ancient saint city, hundreds of figures in black armor held spears and stood upright. Their sharp and cold eyes kept sweeping around, and a strong aura emanated from their bodies. Elder Gu Qian, young master Gu Fei. As Gu Fei and Gu Qian approached the gate, the Black Annihilation Army guards who were guarding the gate suddenly showed extremely respectful expressions on their faces. Is that young master Gu Fei's new girlfriend? Young master Gu Fei brought someone back. I wonder what Ms. Xun'er will think when she sees her. Ms. Xun'er is as beautiful as a fairy, and she is gentle and considerate. I don't understand why young Master Gu Fei wants to leave her and find a new love. I think young Master Gu Fei's new girlfriend is also as beautiful as a fairy, and she is no less beautiful than Ms. Xun'er. Along the way, many people talked about Xiao Yan and commented on her. The noisy voices around made Xiao Yan feel a little uncomfortable, and she unconsciously lowered her head a little. Gu Fei sensed Xiao Yan's mood and reached out to hold her waist. Don't be afraid, I'm here, Gu Fei whispered in Xiao Yan's ear, his breath hitting Xiao Yan's cheek, making her feel much more at ease. Seeing Gu Fei hugging Xiao Yan, the comments around them immediately became much quieter. Facing the powerful people everywhere, King Lin and Shi Wang seemed a little restrained. Yan was a little more lively, looking around, as if she was very curious about everything. We're here. With Gu Fei leading the way, everyone soon arrived at the center of the ancient saint city. To everyone's surprise, this was not a flat land, it was a peaceful lake. Are we going to the ancient realm from here? Dan Haoza had heard a little about the ancient clan, but he didn't know the details. Yan blinked her big eyes and looked at Gu Fei. Just as she was about to ask, the calm lake suddenly rippled, and at the same time, the terrifying space force vibrated and spread outward. Yan is of the royal bloodline of the Taixu ancient dragon clan. She is most sensitive to spatial fluctuations and is more aware of the power of this spatial force. As the spatial force is continuously released, a beam of brilliant light rises into the sky and directly penetrates into the energy shield of the ancient saint city and connects with it. Boom! There are waves of commotion in the space above the lake. After a while, a black spatial gate leading to the depths of the void slowly rises. The majestic and solemn fluctuations spread outward from the spatial gate, and those with weaker strength will feel palpitations. This gate is the spatial gate connecting to the ancient world. I will take you in." After saying this, Elder Gu Qian walked to the spatial gate and entered the gate first. "Let's go in." Gu Fei brought Xiao Yan and King Lin to the door, stepped in without hesitation, and appeared in the ancient world in the next second. The energy of heaven and earth here is so rich, several times more abundant than the outside world. I don't know how much faster it will be to practice here. After entering the ancient world, everyone felt the abundant energy of heaven and earth. No wonder there are so many talented people in these ancient races. It turns out that they occupy such a good place for cultivation. The Lion King couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The ancient world was opened up by the Daodi and continuously nurtured by the Daoxing strongmen of the whole clan. It has become a world of its own. Although the area is not as large as the Qi continent, it also benefits from the abundant energy of this world. Gu Fei explained to everyone. The reason why their ancient clan has been strong for countless years is that it has a strong foundation to support it. While everyone was chatting, the sky gradually became gloomy, and there was a faint sound of thunder above the clouds. Everyone realized that the distance had become cloudy at some point. The dark clouds flowed in the sky and pressed towards them. Yan looked at the dark clouds. Her eyes suddenly condensed, and said, "There is something on the cloud." "Don't be nervous." Gu Fei saw Yan getting nervous, walked to her side and touched her head. "This is the shuttle of my ancient clan." As the black dark cloud approached everyone, the huge flying warship on the cloud also came into everyone's eyes. Everyone couldn't help but sigh again at the generosity of the ancient clan. Just to receive guests, they are so impressive. Just these few warships can sweep away 90% of the forces in Qi continent, right? Let's get on board. The shuttle boat stopped above everyone's head. Gu Fei informed them and took Xiao Yan into a shuttle boat. On the shuttle boat, there were the heavily defended Black Annihilation Army, each holding a spear, looking intimidating without anger. "We are going to the center of the ancient world, the ancient Saint Mountains." Outside the ancient Saint Mountains, there are a large number of ancient people. Try not to disturb their lives. Gu Fei explained to everyone. "Ancient people? Are they the people of the ancient tribe?" Yan asked in confusion. "The two are not equal. The ancient people are the lowest level of our clan, but also the most important level. They were once the core of the ancient clan, but as time went by, the race continued to multiply, and the Daodi blood in their bodies was constantly diluted, making their talents no longer so top-notch. Of course, the ancient people are huge in number, and mutations and awakenings happen from time to time. When their blood power becomes stronger and is discovered, they can get the resources of the ancient clan, officially become a member of the ancient clan, and be respected by thousands of people." Everyone suddenly realized that the geniuses of the ancient clan are picked from thousands or even millions of miles. Ordinary people cannot bring outsiders in so easily. Gu Fei's identity has this privilege, which can be seen from the attitude of Elder Gu Qian before. And as Gu Fei and his group arrived at the ancient Saint Mountains, many eyes noticed them. "Brother Gu Fei, long time no see." Gu Yuniu came up with a smile on her face. Although she knew that Gu Fei brought women back from outside, she still did not give up. 3 wives and 4 concubines, in her opinion, there was nothing wrong with it. It's just that before, Gu Fei married the daughter of the clan leader, so it probably can't be like that. Now that Gu Fei has divorced Xun'er, that worry is naturally gone. Brother Gu Fei is so popular. Xiao Yan also saw that Gu Fei was very popular among the girls of the Gu clan, and felt a little pressure. She lowered her head and followed Gu Fei. "Yuniu, long time no see. I still have some things to do here. Let's talk next time." Gu Fei responded to those who greeted him rather calmly, and then took Xiao Yan's jade hand and walked towards the mountain where he was. Xiao Yan also knew Gu Fei's intention, and felt warm in her heart. Brother Gu Fei actually brought a foreign woman back. Now that he has divorced Xun'er, then not far away. Gu Yao stared at Gu Fei, and felt a little restless in his heart. Alas, Xun'er is so confused. She lost such a good husband like Gu Fei. On the other side, Gu Qian, who is also a genius of the Gu clan, couldn't help but sigh. Although Gu Qian is now also a one-star son, he is 7 or 8 years older than Gu Fei, and the difference in their cultivation speed is very obvious. Brother King Yang, it seems very lively over there. What happened? After a while, Xun'er came to Gu King Yang. At this time, she had just completed the first stage of the Emperor's altar baptism, and her cultivation had broken through to the two-starred Huang stage. After the breakthrough, Xun'er was full of confidence, with a confident smile on her face at all times. Gu Fei is back. Hearing Xun'er's words, Gu King Yang said bluntly, "He's back?" Hearing this news, Xun'er's first thought was to meet Gu Fei. Now, she actually wanted to show her cultivation talent in front of Gu Fei. "Then I'll go see him." Xun'er's voice fell, but was stopped by Gu King Yang. "Why, can't I go to see him?" "I can see him, but Gu Fei is not alone this time. He brought a woman back." "He also brought a woman back?" Hearing this, Xun'er was stunned. She didn't expect that Gu Fei would actually bring a foreign woman back to the ancient world. At this moment, Xun'er wanted to see what the woman Gu Fei brought back looked like. Chapter 107 The Current and the X-Meat. Soon, Gu Fei led everyone to the mountain where he lived before. The mountain was quite secluded, hidden in the clouds and mist. At the top of the mountain, the energy concentration of the heaven and earth was almost 10 times that of the outside. "Brother Gu Fei, do you own this entire mountain?" Yan looked around the scenery of the mountain, and then asked Gu Fei. Yan was surprised, and the emotion value increased by 100. "You are too beautiful. Unlike me, I thought I was a princess when I returned to the tribe, but I ended up living on a small broken island." Yan thought of her previous experience and couldn't help sighing. A small broken island? Hearing Yan's words, Gu Fei smiled helplessly. If her tribe members heard this, I'm afraid they would be so angry that they would vomit blood. However, the Taixu ancient dragon clan may not care so much about the elegance of the scenery. "I live in that bamboo building." Gu Fei pointed to the bamboo building on the steps not far away. The bamboo building is not big, but there are still rooms for several women and the Skyfire Venerable to live in, and the Lion King has opened a cave not far away. Haha, being able to follow the master is really the most correct choice I have made in my life. Coming to such a place, the Lion King was extremely excited. The energy of heaven and earth here is so dense that even if he does not have other opportunities in the future, he is sure to cultivate to the advanced level of the 7th level. Skyfire Venerable did not care. Anyway, his previous friends have all returned to the dust. Now that he has been resurrected, following Gu Fei is a good choice, and he and the little girl Qinglan are quite congenial, and they usually have something to talk about. Remember, according to the rules of our tribe, outsiders are not allowed to contact the people of the ancient tribe, and you should not leave the ancient Saint Mountains without permission. Gu Fei settled several people, explained, and turned around to leave. Now Yixian was uneasy when she came to a strange place. Seeing Gu Fei was about to leave, she quickly stood up and asked, "Where are you going?" Gu Fei turned around, looked at Zhao Yixian lovingly and said, "I have been away from the ancient world for a long time. Now that I am back, I have to go see the elders of the clan. This is some necessary etiquette. Don't worry, this is the ancient world, and few people dared to trouble me." Gu Fei wanted to see the elders, and Zhao Yixian couldn't stop him, so she had to let Gu Fei leave. What he said was right. There were indeed few people in the ancient clan who dared to trouble him, but this person who dared the most and could cause trouble was now in the ancient world, and on the way here. Gu Fei had just left, and Xun'er arrived at the top of the mountain in a short while. Dan Haozun was the first to notice that someone was coming, and immediately went out to investigate. The people of the ancient clan are really all geniuses in cultivation. This girl is so young, but she has already reached the Huang. When he saw Xun'er, Dan Haozun couldn't help but sigh, with envy in his heart. What is the purpose of this lady's visit? After all, this is someone else's territory, and Venerable Dan Hao spoke very politely. Hearing this, Xun'er just glanced at Venerable Dan Hao lightly and ignored him. Her eyes have been fixed on the bamboo building. After Venerable Dan Hao appeared, Yan, Zhao Yixian, and Qinglan also knew that someone had arrived, and they all walked out of the bamboo building. The 3 women appeared, and Xun'er looked at the 3 of them, and finally her eyes fell on Zhao Yixian. Is this the woman that Gu Fei has set his eyes on? Zhao Yixian, Qinglan, and Yan stood together, and Xun'er's eyes were fixed on Xiao Yan. It was obvious that Xiao Yan was the one she was looking for, and the other two looked young. Gu Fei would not have any private relationship with the two little girls. Xun'er's eyes swept over Xiao Yan like a scanner, wishing to see everything about Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's appearance was not that of a mediocre woman. She had a slim and graceful figure, and she also had a kind of ethereal fairy air. This made Xun'er feel a little threatened. After all, the only thing she could surpass Xiao Yan was her cultivation. Although she felt threatened, Xun'er did not show it on the surface, but smiled contemptuously. Who is she? Looking at Xun'er with the contemptuous smile, Xiao Yan felt the difference between her and other women. Although other women admired Gu Fei, when they saw her and Gu Fei together, most of them cast envious or jealous eyes, but the woman in front of her was full of hostility. Looking at Xun'er's eyes, Xiao Yan's sixth sense told her that this person might have a close relationship with Gu Fei. "Miss, what are you doing here?" Xiao Yan asked. "Can't I come to see Brother Gu Fei if I have nothing to do?" "Brother Gu Fei and I have known each other since childhood sweethearts." Xun'er deliberately emphasized that she had an ambiguous relationship with Gu Fei, but she never mentioned the fact that she married and divorced Gu Fei, because it was not glorious to say it out. She came here just to provoke Xiao Yan. "So you are a friend of Brother Gu Fei? Then please come in." When Xiao Yan heard that Xun'er was just Gu Fei's childhood playmate, she relaxed her guard a little. Which little boy doesn't have a childhood sweetheart? But Xun'er's next words made her feel uneasy. "I won't go in. Brother Gu Fei left something on the bed in my room before this experience. I'm here to return it to him." Xun'er said this deliberately, with a hint of provocation in her eyes. Did Brother Gu Fei leave something in her room, or on the bed? Hearing this, Xiao Yan's heartbeat quickened. Xun'er's words contained a lot of information. Gu Fei had been to this woman's room and left something on the bed? What exactly was it that needed this woman to bring it back in person? Did the two of them do anything when they were alone in a room? Just like what she and Gu Fei did. Xiao Yan couldn't help but have some wild thoughts. She was worried and her breathing became rapid. "Brother Gu Fei is not here." "What is it?" "Leave it here first. I will give it to him when he comes back." Xiao Yan pretended to be calm and replied, "It's not convenient. It's a very private thing. I want to give it to him personally." Private things? Xun'er's words undoubtedly made Xiao Yan think more. Even hearing the word private, she already thought of the night after night of love between herself and Gu Fei. Could it be that Gu Fei and the woman in front of him had also been like that? But Gu Fei said to herself those words of single-minded love. Xiao Yan's breath became disordered and her face became much paler. Seeing this, King Lin hurriedly held her hand, but she was young and didn't understand the hidden meaning of Xun'er's words, nor did she know how to comfort Xiao Yan. Xun'er saw Xiao Yan's sad appearance and a smug smile appeared on her face. "Gu Fei, the woman you chose seems to be easy to tease." Xun'er felt a sense of satisfaction in her heart. Chapter 108. Yan, you are the ex-wife, so that means you were divorced, right? On the side, the somewhat careless Yan saw that Xiao Yan was very unhappy because of Xun'er's words, and shouted, "Who are you? Even if it is a private thing, so what? Xiao Yan's sister and brother Gu Fei will be a couple sooner or later. What private things can't be seen?" "Hearing you call Brother Gu Fei all the time, I guess you are also an admirer of Brother Gu Fei. Then I tell you clearly that Brother Gu Fei already has someone in his heart. You can go. Oh, by the way, take your stinky secrets with you. Brother Gu Fei won't be interested in seeing it." Yan didn't care that this was someone else's territory, even if the person in front of her was from the Gu clan. As long as she didn't like it, she would not hesitate to criticize him. King Lin cast an admiring look at Yan. Yan was about the same age as himself, but her mouth was much better than his. Yan, who was originally flustered by Xun'er's words, also smiled slightly because of Yan's words. This girl can not only adjust the atmosphere, but also bring positive energy to the people around her. Yan's excitement seemed like a joke in Xun'er's eyes. She smiled coldly again and said lightly, "So what if we are together? Gu Fei and I are married." "What?" Hearing this, Yan's smile faded again, and her mood, which had just been a little relaxed, fell to the bottom again. Some people think they are amazing because they have received some favors, but they don't know that before you, Brother Gu Fei gave me countless good things. Any of them can surprise you. Xun'er looked at Xiao Yan with her head held high. What she wanted was to embarrass Gu Fei's woman. Yan and King Lin were also very surprised, but Yan immediately realized that something was wrong. Since you're brother Gu Fei's wife, why have you never seen brother Gu Fei mention you? Yan asked. Brother Gu Fei and I got married, and everyone in the ancient world knows it. You can go and ask. Seeing Xun'er's solemn promise that she didn't seem to be lying, Yan lost her confidence and stopped refutation. Instead, she looked at the little doctor fairy beside her. The little doctor fairy's face was pale, and her lips kept moving. She murmured in a low voice, "They are husband and wife, so what am I, a mistress?" As for understanding him, I know much more than you do. Brother Gu Fei and I have been childhood sweethearts since we were young. Later, we got married and lived together for a long time. I know his hobbies and temper very well. It's not an exaggeration to say that we are connected by heart. Xun'er continued to speak. Looking at the uncomfortable expression of the little doctor fairy at this moment, Xun'er seemed very proud and felt extremely satisfied in her heart. I remembered that I heard others talking about it on the road just now. Brother Gu Fei had an ex-wife. At first I didn't believe it, but I didn't expect it to be true. King Lin suddenly said, "Ex-wife, then she was divorced by brother Gu Fei." Yan responded subconsciously, "Nonsense. How dare he divorce me? We divorced peacefully." Xun'er quickly refuted King Lin's argument when she heard that King Lin had dug up this history. Yan laughed as if she had grabbed a magic weapon, pointing at Xun'er and said, "No wonder brother Gu Fei never mentioned you. It turns out that you were divorced by brother Gu Fei a long time ago. How dare you come here to act wild? I say it again, it's a divorce." Xun'er frowned slightly, and she hated Yan with gritted teeth. This little girl looked harmless, but her mouth was very poisonous. What's the difference? Anyway, brother Gu Fei doesn't want you anymore. Yan spread her hands with contempt. "You little girl, if you keep talking nonsense, I won't let you off easily." Xun'er was completely enraged. "Humphrey, do you want to fight? Who's afraid of who?" Yan was not afraid either. She clenched her fists and looked eager to try. Xun'er couldn't stand it any longer. She had just been promoted to Huang and was just about to try her skills. While she was condensing her chi, she punched Yan. But when she punched, Xun'er was shocked by Yan's huge strength. Her punch was blocked by Yan, and her arm was sore. These two people were low-leveled Huangs. Dan Haozun knew that Yan could handle Xun'er, so he didn't care. In addition, this was the territory of the ancient clan, so he couldn't take action easily. It was just right for Yan to take action. "Why is she so strong?" Feeling the sore arm, Xun'er was very surprised. Being confronted, she wanted to teach Yan a lesson, but found that Yan's strength was not inferior to her own. Xun'er looked ugly. Moreover, Yan looked like a little girl, so Xun'er couldn't be too picky with her. After all, they were guests brought by Gu Fei. She could not give Gu Fei face, but she couldn't lose the hospitality of the ancient clan. HMPH. A word of advice: it's not that easy to be Gu Fei's wife. In order to maintain the strength of the bloodline, the elders of the clan will never let him marry an ordinary person like you. Xun'er knew that she would not gain any advantage if she continued to pester him, so she left after saying these two words. After Xun'er left, Xiao Yan had a complicated look on her face. She didn't expect that she would meet her ex-wife before meeting Gu Fei's elders. The attitude of this ex-wife towards herself was very aggressive. If it weren't for Yan and King Lin, she would be in a more embarrassing situation today. "Sister Xiao Yan, don't think too much. Wait until brother Gu Fei comes back." King Lin comforted her. "That's right, I don't know what's so good about being an ex-wife. If the man wants me to be divorced, I'll just be buried in the ground." Yan's words followed King Lin's. She spoke loudly, even people far away could hear it. With the protection of the Skyfire Venerable, they should be fine. Gu Fei shuttled quickly in the ancient world. He was not worried about Xiao Yan and the others, but how he would face the elders of the clan. He knew the family rules and teachings of the ancient clan best. If he wanted to be with Xiao Yan, he had to pass their test first. After passing through several mountains, a magnificent hall appeared in front of Gu Fei. Gu Fei entered the hall, and his grandfather Gu Lai was sitting in the main seat at this time. Not only Gu Lai was present, but many elders in the clan sat upright. The serious attitude made Gu Fei know that today was not a simple day. Grandson greets grandpa, greets all the elders. Gu Fei saluted everyone present according to etiquette. The elders also asked about Gu Fei's well-being and showed great concern. After a brief exchange of greetings, the hall fell silent with Gu Lai's cough. "Child, have you really decided to marry the girl you brought back?" Gu Lai opened the topic of today. "Yes." Gu Fei did not hesitate. "I am connected with Xiao, and I have determined that she is the one who can accompany my grandson to spend the rest of his life." Gu Fei looked at Gu Lai with a firm gaze, which made Gu Lai frown slightly. As his most beloved grandson, Gu Lai knew Gu Fei's temper very well. He had really made up his mind. "Child, there is no need to be so decisive. Your future achievements are immeasurable and the rest of your life is long. Why make a decision so early?" An elder of the Gu clan persuaded Gu Fei. Gu Fei shook his head and refused, with a firm attitude. "Since it is no longer changing, it is better to make a decision early. According to the rules of my clan, your wife must have a strong bloodline, so that the bloodline of the offspring you give birth to will not be weak." Gu Lai frowned and said, "If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels." Chapter 109. I will be the emperor one day, and my descendants' bloodline will surely be top-notch. All decisions made by the clan are to make the bloodline of the ancient clan last longer. If intermarriage with outsiders is allowed, the bloodline of the ancient clan will inevitably be diluted and become weaker and weaker. From this perspective, Gu Fei, as a member of the ancient clan, can understand the decision of the family. However, Gu Fei can understand, but it does not mean that he must abide by these regulations. At this moment, Gu Lai saw that Gu Fei's eyes were firm and he still insisted on his previous decision. When the words came to his lips, he changed again. "But as long as you like it, Grandpa will support it." Gu Lai sighed. He felt sorry for Gu Fei, knowing that Gu Fei was injured by Xun'er a year ago, and now he has finally walked out of the shadow. "Grandpa, you should also know that Xiao Yan is a disaster poison body. In the past, there has never been a top strong person with the disaster poison body on the continent, because they will eventually die early, but Xiao Yan has now completely solved the hidden dangers of the poison body. Her future achievements will at least be shame." Gu Fei's words moved everyone in the hall. They really have never seen someone who completely controls the disaster poison body. That kind of physique, when practicing, there is no bottleneck. It is really terrifying. Besides, even if Xiao Yan is just an ordinary woman, as long as I am determined, she can become my wife. As for the bloodline of the descendants, I will be the emperor in the future. Do I still need to worry about these?" Gu Fei continued. The heroic spirit in his voice shocked all the elders present. The ancient clan gave birth to a new emperor, and the emperor bloodline of all the ancient clan members will be awakened again. At that time, do we still need to worry about the problem of thin bloodline? It will be gone. The greatest role of bold words is to give people strength in the heart. But the power of the heart cannot change the problems of reality. If you ascend to the emperor, everything will be fine. But how easy is it to become a emperor? Since the fall of the last emperor, there has been no emperor in the Key continent for 10,000 years. The clan leader is not good, and the one from the ancient Xiao clan is not good either. What advantage do you have over the two of them? How dare you talk about the emperor? Some of the senior elders in the clan witness that error with their own eyes. Because of this, they know how difficult it is to become a deity. Although Gu Fei's talent is top-notch, it is not superior to that of the Xiao clan. How can he do it? Gu Fei knows that the Xiao clan member mentioned by this elder in the clan is the top genius 1,000 years ago, Yuan, the patriarch of the Xiao clan. Yuan failed to break through the deity with the strength of the entire Xiao clan, but he dared to say that he had broken through the deity. It is normal for the clan members to question him. Senior, as a human being, the waves behind the Yangtze River push the waves ahead, and each wave is stronger than the previous one. What the elders can do, can't the younger generation do it? If the elders don't believe me, time will prove everything. In the future, my name, Gu Fei, will be engraved in the list of deity. I, Goof, will definitely bring earth-shaking changes to this world. Goof looked at the elder who questioned him, and his tone was tough, sonorous and powerful, with the demeanor of a son of destiny. This demeanor directly shocked Gu Lai, and Gu Lai cheered loudly for his grandson. Good. As expected of my grandson, Gu Lai. A man should have great ambitions to reach the sky. Who says my grandson can't become a emperor? Grandpa believes you. Gu Lai was full of smiles. This grandson really suited his taste. Although he knew that it was difficult to become a emperor, or even basically impossible, it was gratifying that Goof could be so heroic. Goof's lofty and ambitious appearance even gave Gu Lai an illusion that Goof seemed to have entered the realm of emperor and brought a new prosperity to the Gu clan. Gu Lai spoke up to support Goof, and others didn't know what to say, so they all kept silent. Go ahead. If there are other voices in the clan, your grandpa, will suppress them for you for the time being. Gu Lai gave Goof another dose of reassurance. Goof cast a touching look at Gu Lai. With Gu Lai's status in the clan, he would not have any trouble in the short term. After talking about the little medical fairy, the elders in the clan mentioned Goof's going out for training. Goof's purpose of this trip was to visit Gu Lai. After talking about business, he was already absent-minded. After a few casual words, he finally escaped. Leaving the hall, Goof returned to his residence. I'm back. Goof landed in front of the bamboo building, whispered a message, and pushed the door open. But as soon as he entered the door, he saw that Xiao Yan's face was pale. What's wrong? Is the evil poison body acting up again? Goof quickly flashed to Xiao Yan's side and checked her body. But except for some disorder in the heart pulse, there was nothing wrong with the evil poison body. Brother Goof, just now, your ex-wife came here. Yan confessed to Goof. My ex-wife, Xun'er, came here? Hearing this, Goof frowned. I didn't expect that she would really shamelessly disturb Xiao Yan. What did she say? Goof asked. Then, Yan and King Lin quickly recounted what happened just now. They're already divorced. What is she trying to do? Goof was a little angry, and he couldn't understand what Xun'er did. He had told her more than once that he wanted a divorce, that he and her no longer had any feelings for each other, and that he didn't want to have anything to do with her anymore. But she had come to disturb him time and again, and this time she even spoke rudely to Xiao Yan. She ignored him when he was enthusiastic, and now that he had let go, she was still being shameless. Not to mention that she was hooking up with brother Xiao Yan outside. Gu felt sick when he thought of Xun'er's behavior. What's going on between you and your ex-wife? Yan asked curiously. Then, Goof confessed. Xiao Yan, the woman just now was indeed my ex-wife, but now I have nothing to do with her. Brother Goof, you don't have to explain. I believe you. Xiao Yan noticed Goof's expression, adjusted her emotions, and nodded. When Goof said this, he looked at her affectionately, and that didn't seem to be pretending at all. It was a natural expression of true feelings. It was because of the true feelings that Xiao Yan believed Goof unconditionally. Yan looked at Goof and Xiao Yan with an ah-yo look, blinking her big eyes as if she was watching the fun. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded in Yan and King Lin's heads. Come out, don't spoil the fun. It was the voice of Tian Huozun. Yan and King Lin weren't experienced, but Tian Huozun was knowledgeable. He reminded them to come out quickly. Yan and King Lin didn't understand, but they quietly walked out of the room. Only Goof and Xiao Yan were left in the room, and they couldn't help hugging each other. The bodies of the two gradually blended, and this was the most suitable condiment. Book recommendation. Traveling through Po, he became Yuan's junior brother. In the first life, Lu Chuan awakened the killing system. In order to help Yuan expand the Yunlan sect, he kept killing, but he couldn't get Yuan's recognition. In the end, Lu Chuan left the Yunlan sect with a broken heart. When Xiao Yan led many strong men to besiege Yunlan sect, Lu Chuan, who had been silent for several years, came despite knowing that he would die. After sacrificing himself and perishing together with Xiao Yan and other strong men of Soul Palace, Lu Chuan was reborn, and Yuan, who was full of regret, was reborn with him. Yuan, Dao Chuan, in this life, I will lick you, and I will support you in everything you do. Lu Chuan, belated affection is more cheap than grass. Dupo, Yuan, why did you cry after I left? Chapter 110. Xun'er, Why bother hanging yourself on a tree? I, the ancient demon, am not bad either. In the northwest continent, in the palace of the Jiama Empire, the atmosphere in the hall was somewhat tense. I didn't expect that old guy Yunshan actually broke through to Zhong. It has been a long time since a Zhong expert appeared in the Jiama Empire. Jia Zingshan's face was gloomy. He knew very well that Yunshan's breakthrough to Zhong would cause earth-shaking changes in the entire Jiama Empire. As the actual ruler of the Jiama Empire, the imperial power of the Jiama royal family would be affected. Grandpa Emperor, in this way, the right to speak in the Jiama Empire will be in the hands of the Yunlin sect. Yi told him the consequences, and Jia Zingshan could only smile helplessly. Grandpa Emperor, you have reached the peak of Duang a long time ago. After so many years of exploration, maybe you will break through soon. The more you struggle on the edge of breaking through, the more you know how difficult it is to break through. Even if you can't break through, Yunlin sect only has Yunshan as a Duzong. We can gather the strength of the three major families and fight him. Yay! Oh, I know your idea is good, but I am closest to Duzong and I know best how powerful Duzong is. If Yunshan really becomes a Duzong, even several Duangs will not be his opponent. Jia Zingshan's words made Ye Oh, who was full of fighting spirit, a little gloomy. Is it really necessary to surrender to Yunlin sect? With the ambition and means of Yunlin sect, the royal family of Jiama Empire will one day be on the verge of extinction. Yunlin sect will not allow any force to share their power. Yale lowered his head and thought, and suddenly thought of someone. Grandpa Emperor, do you still remember that there was another Duzong strongman in Jiama Empire? You mean, young Master Gu? Jia Zingshan thought of this name, and his eyes suddenly lit up. If Master Gu is willing to help us, why would he be afraid of Yunshan? When he saw Gu, he knew that he was definitely a real Zhong strongman, and a high-level Zhong, otherwise he would not be so nervous. But let's not talk about whether Master Gu is willing to help us, just finding him is a problem. Yi was a little discouraged and felt that this idea was not feasible. But Jia Zingshan didn't think so. It is not necessary to invite Master Gu to solve the problem. Fortunately, we have entertained Master Gu for a while before. With this relationship, Yunlin sect should have some concerns. And the 7th grade alchemist's handbook that Master Gu left for Xun'er before, but it ties the alchemist guild to my royal family. If Yunlin sect wants to take action against our royal family, the Alchemist Guild should not sit idly by. With these two relationships, even Yunshan should be cautious. Yi analyzed all the pros and cons in one breath. Her admiration for Gu can be said to be blind. Yunlin sect's back mountain. Two graceful figures stood in the woods, and a voice like a silver bell came out of the woods. Master, recently, our master has returned to the martial arts world, and you seem to be much more relaxed. Teacher broke through to Zhong and became the strongest person in the Jiama Empire. The enemies who used to be in Yunlan Zhong have become much more honest, and Master is in charge of Yunlan Zhong's affairs again, so I naturally have more free time. However, I always feel a little uneasy recently. Yun stopped and looked at Nin Yanren beside her. Uneasy? Is it related to the three elders Yun Leng, Yun Du, and Yun Sha breaking through to Huang one after another? Nin Yanren had some guesses in her mind. Well, I know the talents of the three elders, Yun Leng, Yun Du, and Yun Sha. Even if they spend the rest of their lives trying to break through to Huang, it would be difficult, but they broke through one after another in just a few months. Moreover, the teacher always summons them individually, and even I cannot enter. Since the teacher came out of retreat, he has been much more distant from me. I always feel that there are many things that are hidden from me. Yun was worried, and a few dark clouds gathered under her dark eyebrows. She had a feeling that the Yunlin sect was about to be in trouble. Ancient realm. Ancient Saint Mountain Range. A stream of light passed through the sky, accompanied by a bang, and a slender figure fell in front of Gu Yang. It was Xun'er. I know you have just broken through and become stronger, but there is no need to show it like this. Gu Yang looked at Xun'er, waved his hand to fan away the dust and joked. But as soon as he finished speaking, he immediately restrained his smile and looked at Xun'er solemnly. because he felt that Xun'er's breath was a little cold. "Xun'er, why do you look so bad? Did you quarrel with Gu Fei again?" Gu Yang asked hurriedly, his words full of concern. "Xun'er just said that she went to Gu Fei's place, and she became like this when she came back." It was also a reasonable guess. Xun'er shook her head vigorously. "No, I didn't see him on this trip," Xun'er said coldly. "Not Gu Fei," Gu Yang thought, and then another answer appeared in his mind. "If you didn't see Gu Fei, then you saw the woman that Gu Fei brought." Xun'er's eyes became colder when he heard this. Gu Yang didn't look directly at Xun'er, and still felt uncomfortable all over. "To make you like this, it seems that the woman that brother Gu Fei brought back is not simple." Gu Yang didn't want to say anything more, but looking at Xun'er with empty and indifferent eyes and a slightly pale face, he couldn't help but speak. "Forget it. Since you have divorced him, you should not get involved in his affairs in the future. Gu Fei has already stayed out of it. If you continue to entangle with him, you will be deeply involved. Even the elders in the clan may not stand on your side. It is not worth it to embarrass yourself for a heartless person." Brother King Yang is right. Just as Gu Yang's voice fell, a voice sounded not far away, and a figure appeared in the air. The person who came was Gu Yao. "Let the past be the past, and start a new life." Gu Yao smiled, looking at Xun'er with admiration. "If you ask who is the happiest about the divorce of Gu Fei and Xun'er, it must be Gu Yao. Only when Xun'er leaves Gu Fei can Gu Yao pursue Xun'er with a clear reason. Xun'er is the woman he has liked since childhood, but in the end, Gu Fei proposed first and succeeded, so he couldn't fight for it." "I don't want to hear you talk about this. If you were in this situation, you would know how infuriating this matter is." Facing the ancient demon who advised her to let it go, Xun'er didn't give him a good look at all. The ancient demon didn't feel sad, and continued to say in a cheerful and unrestrained tone, "Brother Gu Fei has made up his mind. Why don't you let it go? Instead of wasting your mind on things you can't get, you might as well look at the scenery you missed around you." The ancient demon implied that he was the scenery he missed. "I have been in the ancient world for so long, what kind of scenery can I miss?" Xun'er said impatiently. After that, she was too lazy to pay attention to the ancient demon anymore, and disappeared in a few flashes. Seeing Xun'er's back going away, the ancient demon was not discouraged, and vowed in his heart that he must catch up with Xun'er. "He's back, let's go see him too." Gu Yang looked at the ancient demon. The ancient demon paused at first, and then walked towards the mountain where Gu Fei was with Gu Yang. Chapter 111 Election for the leader of the Black Annihilation Army. Brother Gu Fei lives in a place that is truly a feng shui treasure land. Gu Yao saw the energy of heaven and earth on the mountain where Gu Fei lived and said with envy, "Gu Fei has an extraordinary talent, and the clan has cultivated him vigorously, so the resources he has obtained are naturally high. He is also worthy of such cultivation by the clan." Gu Yang didn't think it was a big deal, thinking that it was natural for Gu Fei's talent. "I heard that after more than a year, he has already broken through to the level of a one-starred sun, which is much faster than us." Gu Yao sighed. "Who is visiting?" While Gu Yang and Gu Yao were talking, an old man's voice sounded. Then, two men flashed in front of Gu Yao and Gu Yang. The men were old and young, and they felt the strength of their auras. They were both Zun masters. It was Gu Fei and Tan Hao Zun. Brother King Yang, Gu Yao. After seeing who was coming, Gu Fei smiled and said, "How come you have time to come to me?" The three of them were all talented people of the Gu clan. On the road to growth, they had more or less supported each other, and there was no grudge between them. "If I hadn't come here, I wouldn't have known that your place is a feng shui treasure land," Gu Yao joked. "Just let us hang here. Won't you treat us to a cup of tea?" Gu Yang laughed. "Ha ha ha, I'll treat you with my best tea later." Gu Fei made a gesture of invitation. Then, the four of them came to the side of the mountain, where there was a pavilion with a table under it, and the breeze was blowing gently. "Brother King Yang, Gu Yao, I wonder why you came to see me?" Gu Fei got straight to the point. Gu Yang and Gu Yao looked at each other, and the former put down the teacup in his hand and said, "Recently, there was news from the Black Annihilation Army that two senior commanders were planning to retire. We plan to compete for the vacant commander position." Brother Gu Fei, Are you interested? The Black Annihilation Army has a very high status in the ancient clan because their selection conditions are quite harsh. Not only do they need to be absolutely loyal to the ancient clan, but they must also reach a certain level at a certain age. The Black Annihilation Army will be assessed every year, and those who fail to meet the assessment standards will be eliminated. Therefore, this also makes the quality of the Black Annihilation Army quite high, especially some of the above positions. The 8 commanders and the 4 major commanders have higher requirements. It is not enough to have a high level of cultivation to be qualified, but also must meet a certain age. Guf's grandfather Gu Fei is the Black Annihilation King, the highest leader of the Black Annihilation Army. Therefore, Guf knows more about these. If you want to improve your strength quickly, you must get more resources. If you want to get the resources of the clan, the easiest way is to get the right to speak. It is inevitable to be criticized if you only rely on your grandfather's words. If I become the commander of the Black Annihilation Army now, whether I act in the clan or outside the clan, it will be much more convenient than before. Guf secretly pondered in his heart. If you want more right to speak, getting a high position in the Black Annihilation Army is definitely a shortcut. After considering it in his heart, Guf had an answer. To be honest with you, I also have ideas about the position of commander. This is an opportunity. Guf told the 2 of them his answer. Okay, the leader election in 3 months. If Guf participates, I think the competition will be much more exciting. King Hei Yan and Gu Yao both applauded, but they were already competing with Guf in their hearts. There are only 2 vacant leader positions, which means that at least one of King Hei Yan, Gu Yao and Guf will be eliminated. With Guf's talent and strength, he is a strong opponent that cannot be underestimated. Gu Yao and King Hei Yan are both 1-star Xun. King Hei Yan was promoted earlier and has more experience, but both of them are much older than Guf. Their only advantage over Guf is that the competition is held this year. If it is postponed for 2 years, with Guf's talent, he would probably have left them far behind. Then see you at the competition in 3 months. After talking about business, King Hei Yan and Gu Yao did not stay for long and said goodbye and left. It's worthy of the Gu clan. Those 2 are less than 30 years old, but they can cultivate to Xun. After the 2 left, Xun couldn't help but sigh, especially since he had Guf, who was more evil than those 2. Thinking back to the time when the Skyfire Venerable broke through to the Venerable, I don't know how many years and months it took. Comparing yourself to others is really annoying. After sending the 2 Gu Yao away, Guf returned to the bamboo building. Now Yixian and King Linzan were playing and laughing in the house. Seeing Guf coming back, Zan looked up slightly while lying on the bed and asked, "Who is looking for you?" "It's not your ex-wife again, right?" Zan had already resented Xun'er in her heart, because she made things difficult for Yixian. "No, it's 2 brothers from the clan," Guf explained. "Are you okay?" Yixian thought they were looking for Guf to make trouble, and asked with concern, "Don't worry, they just came to ask me if I want to participate in the election of the leader of the Black Annihilation Army in 3 months. If I win the competition, I can become one of the 8 leaders of the Black Annihilation Army. Besides, if I become the leader, you will have more confidence in the Gu clan." Guf looked at Yixian affectionately, and Yixian's face blushed when he was looked at. Yixian is moved, and her emotion value increases by 100. "Will your ex-wife attend?" "If she attends, I want to join in the fun and beat her up in public to vent my anger." Yan angrily gestured with her fists and feet. Guf gently patted Yan's head. "Let's not talk about whether she will attend or not. You are an outsider. How can you be qualified to participate?" Yan drooped like a deflated ball. "Are you sure?" Yixian was still worried about Guf. "I feel that I have touched the bottleneck of the 2-star Xun. It won't be long before I can break through." Guf's words immediately caused Yan to roll her eyes. What a monster. He just broke through Xun, and now he is 2-star Xun again. After 3 or 4 days of adjustment, Yixian and others have adapted to life in the ancient world, and Guf can go to retreat with peace of mind. Yixian and King Lin practice hard every day. Only Yan is a little sloppy. 10 days later, Guf began to retreat. He opened the system panel and checked the properties. Host, Guf, age, 17, cultivation, 1-star Xun late stage, qualification, level 101, Physique, level 80, soul, spiritual realm mid-stage, skills, Great Flame Heart Sutra, heavenly rank primary, fighting skills, flame devouring cage, earthly rank advanced, sun finger, earthly rank intermediate, heavenly star step, earthly rank advanced body movement fighting skill, 5-wheel fire separation technique, earthly rank advanced fighting skill, gathers 5 different flames and can be promoted to heavenly rank, emperor seal technique, alchemy, 8th rank early stage, fusion of strange fire, sea heart flame, blue lotus earth heart fire, fallen heart flame, emotional value accumulation, 54,352. Improve your cultivation, consume 30,000 emotional points and provide 1 cultivation enlightenment. With the blessing of enlightenment, Gu successfully broke through to the 2-star Xun in just 5 days. Chapter 112 Xun'er, I will definitely make you regret divorcing me. What are you thinking about? Are you worried that you will lose to Gu Fei in the upcoming competition? After Gu Yan and Gu Yao left Gu Fei, the former saw that Gu Yao was always worried, as if something was on his mind. Do you think we should tell Xun'er about Gu Fei's participation in this competition? Xun'er won't participate in the competition. Why tell her? Gu Yan didn't know what Gu Yao was thinking. Xun'er cares so much about Gu Fei, she must want to know. Let's go meet her. Gu Yao insisted on going, and Gu Yan followed. At this moment, Xun'er was on her own mountain, staring at a cracked boulder in front of her. It was obvious that the cracks on the boulder were caused by her. Xun'er saw Gu Yao and Gu Yan coming, glanced at them lightly and didn't say anything. Gu Yao landed beside Xun'er and whispered, "Did you know that the Black Annihilation Army has 2 vacant commander positions?" Xun'er was worried and didn't answer. Gu Fei is also interested in the position of commander. Gu Yao's words finally attracted Xun'er's attention. Xun'er's eyes turned cold again. She looked at Gu Yao and asked, "Why?" Gu Fei is also planning to compete for the vacant position of commander. That's right, Gu Yao agreed. Xun'er's beautiful eyes flashed. Since Gu Fei wanted to be the commander of the Black Annihilation Army, she must not let him have a smooth sailing. Do you think Gu Fei can do it? Xun'er asked, obviously interested in this. Although Gu Fei has broken through to Xun, I broke through to 2 stars 10 days ago. At present, it should be difficult for Gu Fei to defeat me. The 1-star difference in Xun is like a chasm, which is why Gu Yan dared to say so. Although I have the same cultivation as brother Gu Fei, I am a few years older than him after all. My control over fighting skills is not comparable to his. Gu Yao spoke very confidently, but only he knew that this confidence was very reluctant. Well, isn't Gu Fei known as the first prodigy of our clan in the past 1,000 years? Let him try the feeling of defeat this time. I want to let him know that there are countless people in this world who are stronger than him, and he has no right to be arrogant. Xun'er was very happy to hear that Gu Yan and Gu Yao were confident of defeating Gu Fei. She looked forward to seeing Gu Fei's embarrassed appearance in the competition soon. Only Gu Fei's embarrassment could clear the resentment in his heart. Looking at Xun'er's smile, Gu Yao silently clenched his fists. I must seize this opportunity. Gu Yao swore secretly in his heart. He knew that this might be a very important opportunity in his life. If he could defeat Gu Fei head-on in the competition, he might be favored by Xun'er. He had been in love with Xun'er since he was a child. Later, Xun'er and Gu Fei got married. He thought he could only regret it for the rest of his life. But Gu Fei's divorce from Xun'er changed everything. For the first time, he felt that his heart was so close to Xun'er. For this, he spared no effort and went all out. After leaving Xun'er's residence, Gu Yao and Gu Yan began to prepare for the competition in March. Whether for themselves or others, they must show their full strength on the stage. Time flies, and March is here in a flash. The competition is about to start. Do you have the confidence to beat them all down? In front of the bamboo building, Gu Fei and his group gathered together. Seeing Xian's excited look, those who didn't know would think that he was the one participating in the competition. Don't lie when you go out. But I shouldn't lose. After Gu finished speaking, he looked inside his body and found that his fighting spirit was more powerful than before he closed himself off. He has become much stronger during this period. During the competition, everyone must go all out. Regardless of winning or losing, they must first ensure their own safety. Now Yixian is worried. and the emotional value increases by 100, Xiao Yan said with concern. He only hopes that Gu Fei can be safe. Gu Fei's heart warmed, and he gently embraced Xiao Yan in his arms. Don't worry, the two of them can't hurt me. After saying that, Gu Fei took the little medical ferry and flew into the air. Yan and others followed closely behind. The destination was a huge square surrounded by an ancient atmosphere. When Gu Fei and others arrived at the square, a large crowd of people had already gathered on the square. Most of these people were wearing black armor. They were the famous Black Annihilation Army in the ancient clan. Just from their temperament and aura, you can appreciate their strength. Being able to become a member of the Black Annihilation Army is the wish of many young people in the ancient clan, and if you can stand out from them, you can be promoted to the position of commander. Such a position can be regarded as a great honor even in the ancient clan. Therefore, many members of the ancient clan have been practicing since childhood, and the goal is to join the Black Annihilation Army. Now that the competition for the leadership of the Black Annihilation Army is underway, it naturally attracts a large number of people to watch. They all want to see which young talent can stand out and become the new generation of the Black Annihilation Army's leader. The arrival of Gu Fei and his party attracted a lot of attention. Is that Gu Fei's new woman? She is indeed a beauty, but her strength is a little weak. That's right, I heard that she has just been promoted to Duang. Such strength is indeed rare in the Gu clan. What? She has reached the 4-star Duang. She has even been promoted to 3 stars in just a few months. This cultivation speed is not bad, even much faster than many people in my Gu clan. Because of the special identity of Xiao Yan, the people of the Gu clan pay much more attention to her. When people found out about her soaring cultivation, they were immediately shocked. They all sighed. No wonder Gu Fei likes Xiao Yan. It turns out that she is also a genius. The noisy gossip in the crowd reached Xun'er's ears. She felt very uncomfortable and looked at Xiao Yan with disdain. As long as someone praised Xiao Yan, she would feel very unhappy. Gu Fei, I will definitely make you understand that your divorce from me is the most strong decision you have ever made in your life. You will definitely regret it in the future, Xun'er said secretly in her heart, and her fists clenched unconsciously. Let's sit down. After arriving, Gu Fei asked everyone to find a good seat where they could clearly see the arena. Xun'er was sitting not far from Gu Fei and the others. He felt that Xun'er was looking at him, but he was too lazy to even spare a glance for her. King Hei Yan and Gu Yao were also here, but they were both preparing for their breathing and did not greet Gu Fei who had just arrived. The competition of the Gu clan is quite lively. Yan sat next to Xiao Yan with a smile, waiting for the competition to begin. Not long after, Gu Zhan, one of the 4 commanders of the Black Annihilation Army and the commander of the 100 battles, arrived, and the originally chaotic square immediately became silent. Gu Zhan's cultivation reached the peak of the 9-star Zun, and he was very famous in the Gu clan. Today is the day for the election of the 7th and 8th commanders of the Black Annihilation Army. It's still the old rules. The 1st and 2nd place will be elected as the commanders. Gu Zhan's voice reached the ears of everyone in the square. Let's not waste any more time, and the competition begins. The first game, Gu Fei vs. Gu Yao. Chapter 113 Xun'er, this great glory should have been mine. As soon as the opponents of the first match were announced, there was an uproar at the scene. What a coincidence! The first match is between these two. I have a feeling that this match may be more exciting than the final. They are both the best talents of the ancient clan. Who do you think will win? Although Gu Fei is more talented, I still think Gu Yao has a higher chance of winning, because this is a stage of strength, not talent. I don't think so. Gu Fei's talent is not all in practice. The onlookers had a heated discussion around the two of them, and the emotions on the scene did not need to be warmed up at all. They were directly ignited. If this is the warm-up method of the ancient clan, it must be said that it is very successful. Gu Yao and Gu Fei are both strong competitors for the position of leader. The battle between the two can be said to be full of highlights, which makes everyone feel extremely expected. Xiao Yan feels nervous and worried, and the emotion value increases by 100. Gu Fei looked at Xiao Yan, and Xiao Yan's originally fair cheeks were even more pale because of nervousness. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. After Gu Fei comforted Xiao Yan, he appeared in the middle of the square. which was the competition arena. After Gu Yao learned that his opponent was Gu Fei, he kept staring at him. "This time, I must win," Gu Yao said in his heart, and also took off, following Gu Fei and landing in the middle of the stage. "Brother Gu Fei, since we are competing for the position of leader today, let's not hold back." Gu Yao said it very seriously. He knew that Gu Fei was more talented than him. This time, it might be his only chance to defeat Gu Fei. After a few years, he would definitely be far behind Gu Fei in strength. Moreover, Xun'er's sweet smile appeared in Gu Yao's mind, although this smile was rarely because of him. "Xun'er, for you, I must win." "Okay, there are no brothers in the competition field, go all out." Gu Fei smiled and nodded, then stopped suppressing his fighting spirit, letting it gush out. Gu Yao was shocked, and his emotion value increases by 15, 2-star Xun. "You have broken through again?" As Gu Fei revealed his aura, Gu Yao looked at him in great shock. He remembered that Gu Fei had just broken through Xun not long ago. It has only been half a year, and he has broken through again? Gu Fei's talent is not a genius, it is simply a monster. Gu Yao was not the only one who was shocked. Gu King Yang and Xun'er were also shocked. It seems that Gu Yao has no chance this time. Outside the field, Gu King Yang shook his head. The gap between 1-star Xun and 2-star Xun is only 1 star. But it is as difficult to cross as a chasm. Is his talent really that strong? Xun'er was also absent-minded. In her heart, she actually didn't want to divorce Gu Fei. After all, Gu Fei was the best person among the younger generation. Who would dislike that her husband was a peerless genius? At this time, the emotion of unwillingness spread in Xun'er's heart. She bit her pale lips, hoping that Gu Yao could defeat Gu Fei across levels. After Gu Fei and Gu Yao confronted each other for a while, the competition officially began. Gu Yao's fighting spirit gushed out, and his long black and white hair flew behind him. The next second, his figure disappeared like a ghost, and his figure could not be captured in the air. Seeing this, Gu Fei's face finally became solemn. He couldn't lose this battle. Which young man was not frivolous? Such a competition was the beginning of his fame. If he lost, he would inevitably be ridiculed. So he had only one way to win. Bang! Gu Fei suddenly clenched his right fist. Just the action of clenching his fist made the air emit a sonic boom. The fighting spirit gushed out, sweeping around like a tide. He raised his right arm and smashed it into the space in front of him. Just when Gu Fei was about to hit the space in front of him, a hand suddenly stretched out from the space and attacked Gu Fei's back of his hand at a very fast speed. Boom! The collision of fighting spirit produced a violent explosion, and the breath swept around like a wave. At the same time, a person appeared in front of Gu Fei. It was the ancient demon who had just disappeared. At this time, the ancient demon grabbed Gu Fei's fist with one hand, and the fighting spirit wrapped around his fists to lock Gu Fei in place, and the other fist attacked Gu Fei's heart. But how could Gu Fei be so easily hit? His arm shook strangely, and a wave of fighting spirit broke the ancient demon's restraints, and he also took the opportunity to dodge Gu Fei's punch. The fight happened in a flash, and in people's eyes, the confrontation was completed in an instant. The two seemed to be evenly matched. Only the ancient demon who had experienced it personally knew that Gu Fei did not use his full strength at all. Since you're so confident of your strength, I will overturn you to the ground. Mountain seal, sea seal. The ancient demon's face sank, and his handprints changed. Several huge palm prints appeared and blasted towards Gu Fei. He did not attack again and again, but directly used most of his fighting spirit to block all Gu Fei's evasive directions, so that Gu Fei could only face his emperor seal. Gu Fei saw this without any expression on his face. He knew what the ancient demon was thinking. Since you want to fight me head-on, then I will fulfill your wish. Mountain opening seal, sea turning seal. Gu Fei formed seals with both hands at a faster speed, and several huge palm prints appeared. Both sides began to bombard each other. The palm prints of both sides bombarded each other, as if triggering a chain explosion, and the turbulent air waves swept around. If the square was not large enough and there were strong people setting up seals in the inner circle, the spectators watching the battle from a distance would probably be affected. All the palm prints dissipated after the bombardment, and Gu Fei stood still, while Gu Yao's face turned much paler. Obviously, Gu Yao, who was 1 star behind, was not Guf's opponent at all. Guf was not going to waste time with Gu Yao anymore, and began to exert his full strength. When Guf exerted his full strength, Gu Yao was completely no match, retreating step by step, and could only take a beating. Even if it was just defense, it was also full of loopholes under the fierce attack. Fighting spirit alone still cannot win. Gu Yao had this thought in his mind, and then Guf suddenly appeared behind him and slapped him on the back. The strange fire rushed into the ancient demon, and the burning sensation made the ancient demon feel like he was facing death. Looking at Guf with a serious expression, the ancient demon knew that he had no hope of winning. No more fighting, no more fighting, I give up. The ancient demon was dejected and announced his surrender. The ancient demon surrendered, and the 100 Battles Commander Guzan on the high platform immediately announced Guf as the winner. Thank you, Guf said and left the stage, very relaxed. The ancient demon did not pose any threat to him. After that, other contestants came on stage one after another. The schedule continued, and as expected, the final was between Gu Qingyang and Guf. Although Gu Qingyang was 1 star stronger than the ancient demon, he was also powerless in front of Guf. After some human relations, Guf won the final victory. So far, Guf became the 7th commander of the Black Annihilation Army, and Gu Qingyang became the 8th commander. This time, Guf completely established his title as the first person of the younger generation, because the previous 6 commanders were almost all over 30 years old, and some were close to 40 years old. The 2 previous commanders did not actually step down voluntarily, but were eliminated by the assessment because they had not made much progress in their strength for many years. Guf achieved such an honor and stood with Yixian and talked and laughed happily. Because of Guf, Yixian also enjoyed that kind of great glory. Seeing this scene, Xun'er, who was standing in the crowd, felt inexplicably uncomfortable. Originally, all of this should have been mine. Chapter 114 Gu Yao. Xun'er, I understand why Brother Guf doesn't want you anymore. Under Xun'er's jealous gaze, Guf officially became the 7th commander of the Black Annihilation Army under the burning gazes of many tribesmen. Although Gu Qingyang, who ranked 2nd, also successfully served as the 8th commander, he looked inconspicuous standing next to Guf. In this regard, Gu Qingyang could only smile helplessly. It's quite glorious, but this dress is not as good-looking as the one that Yixian picked for you. After the inauguration ceremony, Guf returned to Yixian and others. Yan immediately jumped out and looked at the Black Annihilation Army uniform in Guf's hand. Of course, Yixian's vision is unparalleled in the world, otherwise why would she follow me? Guf boasted while bringing Yixian with him, causing Yixian to laugh repeatedly and her little face to blush a little. What are your plans next? Yixian asked with concern. After becoming the leader of the Black Annihilation Army, you need to stay in the Black Annihilation Army to train. You can rest in my residence, with Venerable Tanhao taking care of you. No one should disturb you. Guf cast a look at Venerable Tanhao, who nodded in understanding. So Yixian and others followed Venerable Tanhao back to the bamboo building and continued to practice. Guf followed Guzan to the Black Annihilation Army training ground and began to train soldiers here. Most of the hot-blooded men of the Gu clan in the Black Annihilation Army are eager for strength and talent, both of which Guf has. Many Black Annihilation Army admire Guf very much. So although Guf has just arrived, there is no Black Annihilation Army who disobeys his discipline, and everything goes very smoothly. Guf is a genius of the Gu clan. Now that he has successfully become the leader of the Black Annihilation Army, his prestige in the clan is increasing day by day. Old man Gulai has never stopped smiling these days. Brother Qingyang, my mission is completed. I'm leaving first. One day, after completing his mission, Guf said hello to Gu Qingyang and prepared to leave. But just as he walked outside the training ground, a gentle but somewhat disgusting voice sounded. Brother Guf, it must be very hard to train soldiers every day during this period. Guf frowned and looked up. It was Xun'er. Xun'er was obviously much more polite today than before. She even took the initiative to come to the training ground and showed concern for Guf in a gentle tone. As the commander, these are all my duties. Guf didn't want to have too much entanglement with Xun'er. He replied calmly and did not change his attitude because Xun'er's tone became sweeter. Xun'er heard Guf's cold words, and the tenderness in her eyes condensed slightly, but she still pretended to be enthusiastic. However, before she could speak, Gu Fei spoke first. "It's okay, I'll leave," Gu Fei said lightly, and ignored Xun'er and left directly. Xun'er stood there blankly, staring at Gu Fei's back as he left. She hadn't even had time to say what she wanted to say. She gradually felt aggrieved. When had she ever been treated so coldly? "Xun'er, you've also come to the training ground." Gu Yan and Gu Yao just came out of the training ground. Gu Yao saw Xun'er standing there motionless, and greeted her happily. "What does this have to do with you?" Xun'er said coldly. She vented her anger at Gu for ignoring her on Gu Yao. "Xun'er, Gu Yao didn't provoke you. Besides, you should understand his feelings for you." Gu Yan frowned. He felt that since Gu Fei didn't want his sister anymore, Xun'er's choice of Gu Yao was also a good choice. What feelings? Last time, he said he could beat Gu Fei, but what happened? You were defeated miserably. You have no strength. So why are you talking big? Xun'er said angrily, not giving Gu Yao a good look. "Xun'er, brother Gu Fei is indeed not someone I can compare to. He is much stronger than me." Gu Yao said this very seriously. He was convinced by his defeat to Gu Fei. "HMPH, do you think that if the other half I am looking for is worse than Gu Fei and is a waste, how can I have the face to continue to stay in the clan in the future? Do you want to see me being ridiculed in the clan in the future?" Xun'er shouted loudly, with a heartless and indifferent attitude. Gu Yao felt uncomfortable. He looked at the beautiful Xun'er in front of him, but his body was shaking. "Have I been wrong all along?" Xun'er actually thought this way. "Has it always been my wishful thinking and self-love?" At this moment, Gu Yao suddenly felt that the person he had liked for so many years seemed to be wrong. It is probably impossible to find someone better than brother Gu Fei. At least, that waste thing from the Zhao family is impossible to do. Gu Yao's eyes suddenly became sharp, and his tone became sharp. What did you say?" Xun'er didn't expect that Gu Yao would dare to insult brother Xiao Yan in front of her. This was her Achilles heel. How could Gu Yao, who always obeyed her orders, dare to do that? In addition, Gu Yao had sent people to kill her brother Xiao Yan before. At this moment, Xun'er saw Gu Yao's face full of anger. If it weren't for her own lack of strength, she would have wanted to deal with Gu Yao. "I'm telling the truth. You've failed brother Gu Fei's kindness for a piece of trash from the Zhao clan. Before, I always didn't understand brother Gu Fei's decision, and even thought he was wrong, but now I know how wise his decision is." Gu Yao turned his head to the side after saying that, and his eyes no longer fell on Xun'er. The fanatical pursuer who had always been by her side suddenly treated her like this, and her already depressed mood fell into a deeper abyss. Xun'er didn't say what she wanted to say. She turned around and left with a lonely figure. After leaving the training ground, Gu Fei returned to the bamboo building, where Yan was playing with King Lin. "You are finally back. I am almost going moldy here." "You are back at the right time. Sister Xian has just finished her training." As soon as Yan finished speaking, Xian opened the door and walked out. Xian, who had just finished her training, was still surrounded by the energy of heaven and earth, and her fighting spirit was abundant. It seemed that her strength had improved a lot. If the evil poison body is used well, it is indeed an upgrade plug-in. "No one came to trouble you when I was away, right?" Gu Fei asked Xian while holding him in his arms. Xian shook her head and asked again, "Are you used to being in the Black Annihilation Army?" Although the management of the Black Annihilation Army is strict, it is generally a constraint on ordinary soldiers. The commander is relatively freer. "That's good," Xian said softly. "Sister Xian is worried about you going to the Black Annihilation Army, fearing that you will suffer in it. I am hungry and sleepy here, and I don't see sister love me." Yan poked her head out and looked at Gu Fei and Xian with resentment. Okay, I'm going to make some 8th grade elixirs this time, and I'll make some pills for you." Yan was overjoyed when she heard that she would have a lot of pills to eat soon. After that, Gu Fei explained some things and prepared to start refining the elixir. This time, he was going to refine a high-quality 8th grade elixir. When the elixir was finished, 5-colored elixir thunder suddenly fell from the sky on the mountain where Gu Fei was. "Is this 5-colored elixir thunder?" The elixir thunder unique to 8th grade elixirs. From the situation, It seems to be the mountain where the 7th commander is. Didn't the 7th commander break through the 7th grade more than a year ago? In less than 2 years, he has climbed from the 7th grade to the 8th grade alchemist. The fact that Gu Fei could refine the 8th grade elixir once again caused a sensation. An 18-year-old 8th grade alchemist who could refine 6-colored elixir thunder was a genius even among the medicine clan, which was famous for its talent in refining elixir. Chapter 115. I will give you a great opportunity in the future. An 8th grade elixir with 6-colored pill thunder? How is this possible? On the distant mountain, Xun'er looked at the 6-colored thundercloud in the sky above the mountain where Gu Fei was. Her beautiful eyes filled with shock. According to the achievements Gu Fei has made at his current age, he might be able to challenge the 9th grade alchemy master in the future. His talent is too terrifying. If I hadn't separated from him at the beginning, he would have handed this elixir to me to please me at the first time. Xun'er's mouth was bitter, and at this moment, she recalled the past. At that time, Gu Fei was so gentle to her, and never spoke loudly to her. If there was anything good, Gu Fei would give it to Xun'er at the first time. Did I take his kindness to me for granted, so I didn't cherish his kindness? Xun'er asked herself in her heart, and at this moment, she suddenly realized that she seemed to have lost something important. Wow, 6-color pill thunder, brother Gu Fei, you are too amazing. Yan looked at the pill in Gu Fei's hand, her mouth watering. She could feel the terrifying energy contained in the pill. Greedy ghost, if you eat this pill now, I'm afraid your stomach will burst. Gu Fei glanced at Yan unhappily, and the next moment, he turned around and handed the pill in his hand to Venerable Tan Hao. Venerable Tan Hao, after you take this pill, your cultivation should be able to return to its heyday. Thank you. Seeing that Gu Fei gave him such a precious pill, Venerable Tan Hao was very grateful. Originally, he was rescued by Gu Fei in the Magma Sea, and Gu Fei also helped him refine his body to revive. Tan Hao had already received a great favor. Now, he has received the 8th grade pill given by the other party to restore his strength. Such a favor, Venerable Tan Hao can no longer express his gratitude in words. Yan, do you also want this kind of high-level elixir? Seeing Yan's eyes full of envy, Gu Fei tilted his head and asked with a smile. Yeah. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Yan nodded repeatedly. Now she is actually eager to become stronger quickly, because she has been to Dragon Island and knows about the split of the Taixu ancient dragon clan. She seems to be laughing on the surface, but in fact she still has something on her mind. In order to let the clan reintegrate and not continue to split, she, as the only royal blood of the dragon clan, must stand up. However, even if she is the only member of the clan with royal blood, it is difficult to convince others if her strength is too low. Well, do me a small favor, and I will give you a great fortune in the future. Great fortune? How big can it be? Hearing this, Yan's eyes lit up. Haha, I can only tell you that the value of that good fortune is no less than getting a 9th grade treasure pill, or even a 9th grade mysterious pill. Gu Fei chuckled. What he was referring to was naturally the dragon phoenix origin fruit in the ancient ruins. That kind of fruit is a precious and unique item that can only be born after the fall of the Taixu ancient dragon and the ancient sky phoenix. Only the magic beasts of the Taixu ancient dragon or the ancient sky phoenix can use it. After refining the dragon phoenix origin fruit, people of the bloodline of the two clans have a chance to evolve into a supreme magic beast with dragon and phoenix bloodline. Ancient dragon phoenix. So powerful. Okay, what's the favor? You tell me. Yan trusted what Gu Fei said very much and nodded in agreement. I want to refine the 3000 flames. The shape of that thing is very similar to the original body of your Taixu ancient dragon clan. So, brother Gu Fei, you also know these secrets of our clan. Before Gu Fei finished speaking, Yan couldn't help but say, in fact, I heard that you wanted to refine the 3000 flames, so I paid special attention to it. There is a record in the clan's information. A long time ago, when the 3000 flames was still in its infancy, a senior of our clan discovered it. However, at that time, the 3000 flames was too weak and there was no effect after taking it. So the senior left a dragon mark in the body of the 3000 flames. which is why it grew into the same body shape as our clan. Yan spread her hands and explained, "So that's how it is." Hearing Yan's words, the other people were all shocked. In this way, the 3000 Flames has an owner. The Skyfire Venerable asked a question. If the elder of my clan was still alive, it would be fine to say that the 3000 Flames belong to an owner. However, according to the clan records, the elder completely lost contact during a space travel. After so many years, most of his body is gone. Yan shook her head. "Brother Goof, you should know this." Yan looked at Goof. Yes, Goof did not hide it and nodded. When he first met Yan in the academy, he told Yan that he knew her life experience. Therefore, it would not be abnormal to show his understanding of the Taixu ancient dragon clan. "Brother Goof, I actually made preparations for you before. I stole the dragon seal from a sleeping elder of the clan. However, this thing is relative. If you win, you will control the 3000 Flames. If you lose, then, however, the power of my dragon seal should be much stronger than the dragon seal that the elder set up casually." Yan hesitated for a moment, but still expressed her concerns. "You girl, are you kidding me? You are using such a dangerous method." Hearing this, Dao Yixian couldn't help but worry about Goof and glared at Yan. She knew that the 3000 Flames had been in the star field for a long time, and even the 3 giants of Anda, the peaked Xun strongmen, could not refine it. "Don't worry, I rarely do things that I am not sure of. Wait for the elders of the clan to beat the 3000 Flames to death. How can it resist me?" Goof showed a smile at the corner of his mouth. He was confident about this refining. Yes, there are many strong people in the ancient clan. As long as the consumption of the 3000 Flames is huge, the difficulty of refining it will be greatly reduced. Yan also reacted immediately, glanced at Dao Yixian, and smiled awkwardly. Next, she took out a jade bottle from the ring, which contained dark golden blood, faintly exuding a dragon's power. "Hee. Plant a dragon seal on your hand too." Yan carefully dripped a drop of dark golden blood from the jade bottle. The blood fell on Goof's palm, and then Yan's handprint suddenly changed, and the dark golden blood flowed out, forming a strange rune sticking to Goof's palm. With this dragon seal, Goof immediately took the remaining bottle of dragon blood and quickly left the mountain and headed deep into the mountains. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116, Refining 3000 Flames. 4-star Xun. "Child, are you sure you can refine it?" In the ancient hall, Gu Lai asked worriedly after learning about Goof's intention. Gu, the ancient Shang strongman standing next to Gu Lai, also frowned. It was he who helped Goof suppress the 3000 Flames that day, and brought it back. He had witnessed the power of the 3000 Flames with his own eyes and knew how powerful it was. Ordinary Xun strongmen could not shake the 3000 Flames. You must think carefully before refining. The 3000 Flames are not like the strange fires you refined before. The strongest of those strange fires are only at the Zong level. The 3000 Flames are genuine high-level Xun. Guzong reminded Goof, but Goof smiled slightly, full of confidence. "Don't worry, since I dare to do it, I have the confidence to subdue it." Seeing Goof's confident smile, Gu Lai and others didn't say anything more. After reminding Goof to be careful again, they prepared to deal with the strange fire. Next, Guzong released the 3000 Flames, and the manic fire attribute energy instantly spread throughout the entire hall space. The imprisoned 3000 Flames was extremely angry and originally wanted to cause destruction. However, there were a lot of Sheng masters present, feeling the powerful pressure from Gu Lai and others. 3000 Flames was desperate. "Go ahead, just don't kill him." Next, several Sheng masters attacked at the same time, and 3000 Flames was instantly beaten like a worm, without any dragon power. After they severely damaged 3000 Flames, Goof was also ready to attack. He threw the jade bottle given by Yan and hit 3000 Flames on the forehead. When the dark golden blood in the jade bottle stained 3000 Flames' forehead, 3,000 Flames' body suddenly stiffened, and the look in his eyes also became dull at this moment. At the same time, a strange rune appeared on his forehead, and it looked exactly like the dragon seal on Gu's palm. "It's the dragon seal," Gu murmured in his heart. A burning feeling filled his palm. Gu raised his hand, and the place where Yan had given him the dragon seal before emitted a dazzling golden light, which echoed with the 3,000 flames. Bang bang bang! A thunderous sound rang in Gu's mind, and he was surprised to find that the power of the 3,000 flames had actually invaded his mind. Looking down at the dragon seal on his hand again, he immediately understood what was going on. The effect of the dragon seal is mutual. He used the dragon seal to control the 3,000 flames. Similarly, the 3,000 flames can also control himself through its dragon seal. It was the soul power of the 3,000 flames that invaded Gu's mind, and it wanted to make Gu his puppet. A battle of souls? See if you have what it takes. Gu urged his soul power to attack the 3,000 flames. The 3,000 flames were once again filled with purple-black flames and roared wildly. On Gu's side, the higher the temperature of the dragon seal on his palm, the more he suddenly felt dazed. The next second, he appeared in a strange space full of black flames. Here, the 3,000 flames transformed into a giant dragon covered in purple-black flames. The dragon exhaled, and the scorching air rushed towards Gu, constantly consuming Gu's soul power. Seeing this, Gu quickly urged the strange fire to raise a strange fire barrier to isolate the hot breath. Obviously, the 3,000 flames was going to defeat his soul here. "Evil beast, just surrender." Roar, roar, roar. Hearing Gu's contemptuous name for himself, the 3,000 flames roared furiously, and the boiling magma flames in the space rose up, covering the entire space above Gu's head. Facing the surging flames, Gu's eyes also became more solemn at this moment. He integrated the strange fire into his soul, and a strange fire barrier completely isolated the purple-black sea of fire. As the sea of fire continued to impact the strange fire barrier, ripples appeared on the barrier. Gu stood in it, and the strange land under his feet was constantly shaking under the surge of the 3,000 flames. But Gu's figure remained motionless. Seeing that this could not do anything to Gu, the 3,000 flames circled and soared into the sky, and the flames on the dragon's mouth condensed, and the originally purple-black flames became like the night. Roar! After the flames condensed, the 3,000 flames aimed at Gu's strange fire barrier and sprayed it out. A black fire column like a collapsed Optimus Prime shot towards Gu. Gu's strange fire barrier was almost instantly swallowed by the fire column, and the air became twisted and hideous when the fire column sprayed past. The spray of the fire column lasted for nearly half an incense stick of time. The 3,000 flames felt that this was not enough. The fire column disappeared, and it fell violently. In the middle, it suddenly twisted its body and used its dragon tail to whip towards Gu's position. The originally unstable space was completely shattered by this tail, and waves of nothingness appeared. But Xiao Yan didn't pull anything with this tail. "Evil beast, have you had enough? It's my turn." Gu's voice suddenly sounded above Xiao Yan's head. At the moment when Xiao Yan spewed out the column of fire, he disappeared from the spot and came behind Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan had already been severely injured, and now it has consumed some of its strength. It is the best time for him to take action. "Get down!" Gu shouted angrily, and the palm carrying the dragon's roar became larger than Xiao Yan's dragon body under the transformation of soul power. He waved his hand and slapped Xiao Yan's palm directly, slapping it to the ground. "If you were intact, I might be afraid of you, but you are too weak now. Get up!" Gu shouted loudly, and a raging sea of fire rose in the space. In the blink of an eye, Gu came in front of Xiao Yan, and all the powerful soul power was infused into the dragon seal on his palm. Seeing this, the 3,000 flames were shocked. Its body shook violently, and it actually split into countless small fire dragons and pounced on Gu. Unfortunately, it was too late. Gu stretched out his palm engraved with the dragon seal, and golden light burst out from the dragon seal, instantly swallowing all the small fire dragons that pounced on him. Even the 3,000 flames were pulled in front of Gu. Gu grabbed the 3,000 flames, and the dragon seal made a low dragon roar, which shook the illusion of the 3,000 flames, revealing the original appearance of the flame, and its intelligence was completely wiped out at this moment. "Don't worry, follow me. I won't disgrace your name on the list of strange fires," Gu whispered to himself. Then, he opened his mouth and swallowed the purple-black fire dragon into his stomach. As soon as the origin of fire entered the body, a burning heat quietly spread from the body, and Gu quickly sat cross-legged. This time, it took 3 months to refine the 3,000 flames. After Gu came out of retreat, his cultivation level soared to the level of 4-star Xun. 4-star Xun. Swallowing the strange fire actually has such an effect. In 3 months, he jumped from the initial 2-star Xun to the 4-star. It's really amazing. Seeing this scene, some of the elders of the ancient clan who were guarding Gu while he was refining the 3,000 flames of fire were all surprised. Chapter 117. The Yan tribe delegation arrives. The girl who owes it. It's been 3 months. Brother Gu's retreat this time is really long. In the bamboo building, Xiao Yan, King Lin and others were worried about Gu. Gu said that he would go to recover the 3,000 flames and needed to retreat for a period of time. Conquering the strange fire itself is extremely dangerous, and Gu has been away for such a long time. They are worried that Gu will encounter an accident in the process of conquering. "Don't worry, it's just a mere 3,000 flames." Isn't it easy for Brother Gu to deal with it? He must have got some opportunity, so he is so slow. Yan looked at Xiao Yan's worried look and comforted her. Then, she also stretched out her hand, and there was a dragon seal in her palm that was also shining with golden light. Her dragon seal and Gu's dragon seal are connected to each other. According to this dragon seal, Gu's physical condition can be known at any time. Looking at the golden dragon seal, Gu doesn't seem to be in danger. "I hope so." Xiao Yan clasped her hands in front of her chest and prayed silently for Gu. At this moment, the space suddenly fluctuated. Yan raised her head suddenly, her eyes full of brilliance. The place where the space fluctuated was exactly where Gu appeared. "You are finally back. I was so miserable when you were away. I have finished all the pills." Sister Xiao Yan is also worried about you. Xiao Yan opened her eyes immediately after hearing what Yan said, and saw the person she had been thinking about as she wished. "I am sorry to have worried you." Gu walked to Xiao Yan, hugged her gently, and touched Yan's little head. "To express my apology, I will refine some more pills for you, okay?" After hearing what Gu said, Yan showed a satisfied expression and took King Lin to play somewhere else. "Why did it take so long?" Xiao Yan looked at Gu worriedly, but Gu didn't look like he had anything wrong. "The 3,000 flames are stronger than I thought. Although I successfully subdued them, I encountered some problems when absorbing them. You must be careful when absorbing the manic energy of the alien fire, otherwise you may end up burning yourself. Fortunately, hard work pays off, and it has brought me a lot of gains." After Gu finished speaking, he released his chi slightly. Xiao Yan felt a majestic chi and knew that he was much stronger than before, but she didn't know what level he had reached. 4-star Xun. "Sometimes I really envy you geniuses." An old voice sounded behind Xiao Yan. The person who came was Dan Hao-zun. Gu looked at Dan Hao-zun and found that his strength had reached 6-star Xun. Obviously, he had taken the 8th grade pill given by Gu and absorbed it completely. "Congratulations to Senior Yao for recovering his strength." Gu congratulated Dan Hao-zun. The Skyfire Master smiled bitterly and said, "I have been practicing for countless years, but I am only a 6-star Xun. You are so young and you are already a 4-star. I am really ashamed." In these 3 months, not only did the Skyfire Master recover his strength, but the little medical fairy and the others also made some progress in their cultivation. After that, Gu adapted to the new strange fire and directly challenged the 5th commander of the Black Annihilation Army. That day, Gu defeated the 6-star Xun with his 4-star Xun cultivation, and became the new 5th commander of the Black Annihilation Army. Is this the ancient world? At the edge of the ancient world, a crack appeared in the air out of thin air, and 4 figures entered from the crack and landed in the ancient world. The energy of heaven and earth here is more concentrated than our Yan world. The ancient clan's heritage is indeed deeper than ours. An old man couldn't help but sigh. I think the energy of the Yan world makes people feel more comfortable. A crisp female voice sounded, and it was a girl who said this. The girl looked to be in her teens, with long fiery red hair that set off her graceful figure. Her beautiful face was slightly cold, and there was a flame mark on her forehead. They were all from the Yan clan, one of the 8 ancient clans. This time, except for the girl in red, the other 3 were all Shengs, elders of the Yan clan. Huozi, we are guests. This is not our ancient world. We should be more polite when we speak, an elder reminded the girl. The girl opened her mouth and wanted to say something else, but several figures suddenly appeared in front of them. Welcome the Yan clan delegation to our ancient world. Elder Huo Yao, long time no see. Gu Nanhai and several other elders of the ancient clan appeared. They waited here after learning that the Yan clan envoys were coming. Ha ha ha, it turns out to be Elder Gu Nanhai. You are polite. The elder of the Yan clan, known as Huo Yao, responded. Everyone, please enter the ancient world. I am here to welcome you all. Gu Nanhai made a gesture of invitation and led the Yan clan elders into the depths of the ancient world. There is a hall specially for entertaining guests, and several elders are waiting in the hall. After Gu Nanhai invited everyone from the Yan clan to take their seats, everyone from the Gu clan also sat down. The food that had been prepared long ago was served at this moment. Although they no longer needed to eat at their level, they still needed to follow the proper etiquette. Huozi sat at the last seat of the Yan clan, and kept looking at the people from the Gu clan present. She specifically looked at those who were about the same age as herself, or only a few years older. After a quick glance, her already cold attitude became even more disdainful. There were quite a few young people from the Gu clan present, but no one made her look at them straight in the eye. Is this the youth of the Gu clan? They are just so-so. I hope you are not among these people. Huozi thought secretly in her heart and retracted her gaze. At the banquet, after some polite exchanges, Gu Nanhai said, the elders of the Yan clan have come from afar. I wonder what they are doing here? Upon hearing this, the elders of the Yan clan looked at each other, and one of them said, haha, I did come here for something. Elder Huoyao, please feel free to tell me. Gu Nanhai said politely. It is said that Gu Fei, the prodigy of your Gu clan, has now divorced Ms. Xun'er. I wonder if this is true or not. Gu Nanhai's originally smiling expression froze when he heard the words of the elders of the Yan clan. It is said that family disgrace should not be made public, and now this family disgrace has spread to the Yan clan. It's just a farce between 2 young people. You and I have lived for countless years. Are you still curious about these things? Gu Nanhai did not answer directly, but the elder of the Yan clan did not give in and said directly, Elder Huoyao, please speak frankly. Gu Nanhai saw that he could not avoid it, so he had to say, it is true, this matter. Seeing this, the elder of the Yan clan smiled slightly and said, since Gu Fei and Ms. Xun'er have divorced, why not renew a marriage for Master Gu Fei? The purpose of their coming here is to conclude a marriage with the Gu clan and want to marry the girl Huozi to Gu Fei. Huozi is the pride of the Gu clan. Recommend book, Terror is Coming. The whole country is burning trillions of ghost money at the beginning. There is a small cart below. If you are interested, you can click to add it to the bookshelf and collect it. Zhang Yuan found that ghost money is only useful if it is burned to himself before the terror comes. Chapter 118 Xun'er. What? The Yan tribe is coming to propose marriage to Gu Fei. To renew a marriage? Gu Nanhai and the others were slightly stunned when they heard this. They looked at Huozi, who was sitting quietly at the end of the table, and vaguely understood the purpose of the Yan clan's coming. From what he said, he should be here to propose marriage to Gu Fei. This is strange. In the past, it was always the man who took the initiative to propose marriage, but it was very rare for a woman to take the initiative to come to the door. Not to mention a big clan like the Yan clan. Gu Nanhai looked at the Yan clan elders and Huozi in confusion. The Yan clan's initiative to offer a beautiful woman made them quite puzzled, so they couldn't help but think more. This is a young man of our clan, Huozi, who is only 19 years old and has reached the level of an 8-star zong. She is a good match for Gu Fei. Elder Huoyao naturally noticed the doubts of Gu Nanhai and the others, but he did not explain too much, but introduced the woman in red. The woman in red was Huozi, wearing a light red dress, with her face covered by a veil. But even so, The outline revealed through the veil was extremely moving, even in front of many elders of the ancient clan. There was no ripple in her bright eyes. At only 19 years old, her cultivation has reached the level of an 8-star zong. Gu Nanhai looked at the woman and read in surprise, marveling at her talent. In terms of talent alone, there was no other woman in the entire ancient clan who could compare with her except Xun'er. Such a genius should be one of the best even in the Yan clan. The Yan clan took the initiative to send this woman to marry. What was their plan? Gu Nanhai's doubtful eyes showed a little more vigilance, but he praised Huozi. Such a talent, amazing talent. Your Yan clan has successors. Elder Huo Yao heard this and smiled. I believe you can also see that my Yan clan is full of sincerity, so please consider the matter of marriage seriously. If the Yan clan is really sincere in marriage, Gu Fei will marry the Yan clan's genius, which will be of endless benefits to both the Gu clan and the Yan clan. The Yan clan and the Gu clan are deeply bound with the power of the two clans. If they unite, the Soul clan and the other clans will be firmly suppressed by them. But Gu Nanhai cannot make a decision on his own, not because of the little medical fairy that Gu Fei brought back. The current little medical fairy can't attract their attention at all, and even think that the little medical fairy is wasting Gu Fei's time. What they care about is Gu Fei's own wishes. In view of Gu Fei's special status in the clan, every decision about Gu Fei needs to be made by Gu Fei himself. Gu Fei is the first genius of our Gu clan and the grandson of the Black Annihilation King. His marriage is not something we can decide. Well, everyone, take a rest here for a few days. I will give a satisfactory reply after discussing with other elders in the clan. Elder Huoyao saw that Gu Nanhai did not readily agree, and he had expected this. Then we will wait for good news. I heard that the Yan clan came to our Gu clan. Many Daoxing level elders came with the red-haired woman. Although the red-haired woman was wearing a veil, it can be seen at a glance that she is definitely a great beauty. As far as I know, the Yan clan came this time to propose marriage. Propose marriage. If I can marry that great beauty, I will have no regrets in my life. Okay, stop dreaming. They are here to propose marriage to Gu Fei. When the children of the Gu clan heard that they already had a marriage partner, they immediately hung their heads, like weeds that were stepped on. When everyone was talking about this, Xun'er happened to pass by here. She was very surprised when she learned the purpose of the Yan clan delegation's visit. Is the Yan clan going to fight for him? Xun'er gritted her teeth, her expression very unwilling. It was something that she owned but despised. After she threw it away, it suddenly became a treasure in everyone's eyes. The huge gap constantly impacted Xun'er's mind and broke through her fragile defense. No, I want to find out what's going on. Just as Xun'er was about to leave, a fiery red light suddenly appeared in front of her, and then a woman in red appeared. It was Huozi. I guess this is Miss Xun'er. Huozi smiled while looking at Xun'er. Xun'er looked at Huozi, and her sixth sense made her full of hostility towards the strange woman in front of her. Haha, I've heard that Ms. Xun'er is very talented. Today I see that she is worthy of her reputation. Huozi smiled. She sensed Xun'er's breath, but she was only a 5-starred Huang, and there was obviously a hint of sarcasm. Who are you? Yan clan. Huozi. Are you the Huozi of the Yan clan who wants to marry Gu Fei? Xun'er's eyes turned cold. How could she let others get the man she couldn't get easily? Gu Fei will never agree to marry you. He already has someone in his heart, and now he lives in the ancient Saint Mountains with his new lover. You are only humiliating yourself by coming here this time. Xun'er's words were extremely vicious, humiliating Huozi and dragging Xiao Yan into the water at the same time. Don't you want to marry Gu Fei? Gu Fei now has a new lover. I want to see what you will do. You go to Xiao Yan, then humiliate her, and even better, make a big fuss by relying on the Yan clan. It would be best if you alarm the high level of the Gu clan and make Gu Fei and Xiao Yan lose face. Xun'er had very beautiful thoughts in her mind, but Huozi obviously did not do as she expected. Knowing that Gu Fei already had a new lover, Huozi acted very indifferent and didn't care. And then a faint voice sounded. It doesn't matter if he doesn't agree. Anyway, I don't have that interest. Huozi was very proud. In her eyes, there were not many men who could catch her eye. It was the idea of the elders of the Gu clan to come to the Gu clan to propose marriage, not her own wish. She followed here just to take a look. What kind of person is the so-called Gu Fei? the genius of the ancient clan. You are so anxious to mention Gu Fei. I have heard some rumors about you. Enough, Xun'er shouted angrily, stopping Huozi from continuing. Huozi looked at the angry Xun'er with a smug smile on his face. Ms. Xun'er, you should take care of your own affairs before thinking about other things. Huozi left with these words and turned away. Xun'er stood there angrily, clenching her fists. If she had not been defeated by Huozi, she would definitely have been unable to resist attacking just now. The mountain where Gu Fei is. Yan's figure flashed on the mountain, and she looked very anxious. She landed in front of and behind the bamboo building, and immediately shouted to the main building, Sister Xiao Yan, it's not good. Yan, what's the matter? Why are you making so much noise? Xiao Yan came out of the main building and asked when she saw Yan's anxious look. Sister Xiao Yan, I was strolling outside for a while just now, and I accidentally heard someone say that the Yan tribe, one of the 8 ancient tribes, has sent an envoy this time. The purpose of their coming here is to arrange a marriage for brother Gu Fei. What? To arrange a marriage for brother Gu Fei? Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan's face suddenly changed. Chapter 119. How could a woman rush to ask a man to marry her? Deep in the mountains, in the solemn black hall, a large group of ancient elders gathered here. Each of them had a solemn expression and was seriously considering one thing. That was the Yan clan's marriage proposal. After meeting with the elders of the Yan clan, Gu Nanhai immediately contacted the elders of the clan to gather in the ancient clan hall to discuss Gu Fei's marriage. As Gu Fei's grandfather, Gu Lai also temporarily put aside the affairs of the Black Annihilation Army to discuss. The Yan clan came to propose marriage to Gu Fei. The woman has excellent talent. Is the Yan clan willing to give her up? What's there to be reluctant about? In terms of talent, my grandson is much better than the Yan clan woman. They will not suffer any loss. Speaking of talent, Gu Lai was the first to express his dissatisfaction. Gu Fei's talent is not inferior to anyone. In my opinion, the Yan clan's move is not just for this purpose. I guess they are attracted by Gu Fei's ability to fuse strange fire. And elder said the key point, which immediately attracted the approval of countless people. Controlling several kinds of strange fire at the same time and fusing them together is unheard of except for the strongest who rely on their powerful strength to force it. This secret of Gu Fei is indeed of great attraction to the Yan clan. Yes, most of the Yan clan's methods are to control fire, and there are many strange fires. However, except for the clan leader Yan Jin, no one else can refine 2 kinds of strange fire at the same time, and Yan Jin can only do it with his powerful strength. On the other hand, Gu Fei, he has already fused 4 kinds of strange fires with just Zun's strength. The Yan clan should want to use this marriage to get the secret of fusing strange fires from Gu Fei. Many elders who didn't know much about Gu Fei couldn't help but take a breath of cold air when they heard this. Has Gu Fei already fused 4 kinds of strange fires in his body? Then, should we agree to this marriage? After some discussion, an elder asked, since Gu Fei and Xun'er have divorced now, Huozi is a good candidate. They want to get something from Gu Fei, and we can also do the opposite and get the Yan clan's strange fire. As soon as this idea came out, it was immediately agreed by many people. It's just that my grandson already has someone he likes. Gu Lai suddenly spoke at this moment. He could not forget the bold words that Gu Fei said in front of him before. If I were a emperor, my bloodline would definitely be top-notch. He respected Gu Fei's choice and would not change it because of these elders. Gu Lai was Gu Fei's direct relative, and his status in the clan was second only to the clan leader Gu Yuan. If he didn't get his support, this matter would be difficult to handle. Just when everyone was in a dilemma, a man in coarse cloth appeared in front of everyone present without warning. Most of the elders present were Shings. There was only one person in the entire Gu clan who could appear out of thin air under their noses without them noticing, and that was the clan leader Gu Yuan. In my opinion, whether to agree to this marriage or not, let Gu Fei decide it himself after meeting the woman. Let's have a banquet tomorrow and ask Gu Fei to come. After Gu Yuan spoke, the elders didn't say anything else, and the final decision was still handed over to Gu Fei. In the evening, Gu Fei returned from the affairs of the Black Annihilation Army. After entering the house, he found that the atmosphere in the house was a bit heavy. He looked at Xiao Yan, who lowered her head with a strange look in her ethereal eyes. Brother Gu Fei, You don't know. Yan winked at Gu Fei beside Xiao Yan, and Gu Fei immediately understood what was going on. Silly girl, what are you thinking about? I will not agree to marry Huozi. On the way back, Gu Fei had naturally heard about those things. He knew that Xiao Yan also knew about it, so he stepped forward to comfort her. I know you won't. But, that Yan clan woman is so outstanding. It's hard to guarantee that the elders in your clan won't agree. Xiao Yan threw herself into Gu Fei's arms and said softly. She knew Gu Fei's thoughts, and she could also guess the thoughts of those elders in the Gu clan. Gu Fei was devoted to her. But the elders of the Gu clan did not approve of her. Don't worry. As long as I am firm in my attitude, the clan leader and grandpa will not force me to change my mind. Gu Fei was still very confident about this. Looking at Gu Fei's determined eyes, Xiao Yan's originally unstable heart finally stabilized a little. She forced out a smile and snuggled in Gu Fei's arms. Xiao Yan feels touched, and her emotion value increases by 100. Xiao Yan feels strongly dependent, and her emotion value increases by 200. The next morning, Gu Fei had just opened his sleepy eyes when his grandfather summoned him to attend a banquet. Gu Fei immediately knew the real purpose of the banquet and looked at Xiao Yan lying beside him. Don't worry, wait for my good news. Gu Fei kissed Xiao Yan lightly on the lips, said goodbye to Xiao Yan, and rushed to the banquet. In the banquet hall, Xun'er, Gu Yang, Gu Yao and other young talents also took their seats. Xun'er's eyes often stayed on Huozi, full of gunpowder. This feeling seemed to be that she regarded herself as Gu Fei's original wife and Huozi as a mistress. Huozi ignored Xun'er and didn't even look at her. In her eyes, Xun'er was not as threatening to her as the foreign woman Xiao Yan. Elders, Gu Fei is late. Soon, as Gu Fei stepped in, many eyes were attracted to him. Huozi also looked at him. In terms of appearance, Gu Fei was also handsome, but this was not what Huozi cared about. It's the breath of strange fire, and there is more than one kind. It seems that the news received by the clan is true. Huozi's eyes flickered and she murmured in her heart. At the same time, the flame pattern on her forehead quietly bloomed. Huh? Gu Fei looked at Huozi and noticed the pattern on her forehead. The strange fire in his body suddenly became active just now, showing excitement. Her strange fire, red lotus karma fire? Gu Fei, come, sit here. Gu Lai called Gu Fei to sit next to him. The seats next to him were the people of the Yan clan. This boy's cultivation has reached the level of a 4-star Zun. He has a promising future. Elder Huoyao of the Yan clan could not help but be surprised when he found out about Gu Fei's cultivation. Although he knew that Gu Fei was a genius, he did not expect that he had already reached the level of a 4-star Zun. In front of Gu Fei, Huozi's 8-star Zong seemed insignificant. 4-star Zun? Huozi was also shocked when she heard the elder's words. Gu Fei was about the same age as her, but she did not expect that he was so much better than her. This immediately changed the way Huozi looked at Gu Fei. Strong strength is enough to redefine the inherent impression in many cases. Child, why did I ask you to come here today? I think you know it too. Gu Lai looked at Gu Fei and asked. Yes. Gu Fei nodded, and then looked in the direction of the Yan clan. Gu Fei can only say sorry for the Yan clan's kindness. I already have a woman I like. Gu Fei replied without hesitation. Recommend books, a work of versatile mage, which should not be missed. There is a cart below. You can directly click to add to the bookshelf to save. Chapter 120 Xun'er, do you think that you can get Brother Gu Fei to marry you just like this? Don't even think about it. He actually refused directly. Huozi, who was sitting in the next seat, was surprised when she heard Gu Fei's answer. Her eyes, which were originally as calm as a deep pool, were slightly turbulent. At the same time, Huozi's heart was also filled with some inexplicable sense of loss. Originally, she was quite dissatisfied with the marriage proposal arranged by the elders of the tribe. How could the woman rush to ask the man to marry her? Moreover, she was proud of her good talent, and she didn't like ordinary men at all. However, for Gu Fei, she had some different emotions at this time. Of course, this difference was only because of Gu Fei's terrifying cultivation talent and the means to fuse multiple different fires at the beginning, and finally Gu Fei's refusal. Huozi is a strong woman. Although she is not the top in the Yan tribe, there are still people in the tribe who are comparable to her, but no one can catch her eye. Now she finally has someone she likes, but the other party doesn't like her. Great. Goof really won't want this Yan clan woman. Unlike Xun'er, who was sitting opposite her, had a bright smile on her pretty face, and then she looked at provocatively. It seemed that she was laughing at laughing at her for not wanting any man to marry her even if she approached him actively. HMPH. Caught Xun'er's provocative look, which aroused competitive spirit. Since you think Goof won't marry me, I'm going to fight for it. Made a decision in his heart. This decision was not only because of competing with Xun'er, but also partly because of Goof. At this moment, everyone at the banquet fell into a brief silence because of Goof's answer. The expression on the face of the elder Yao of the Yan clan was a little embarrassed. Although Goof's words were expressing his thoughts, for everyone in the Yan clan, it was no less than being slapped in the face. They came all the way to propose marriage, but were directly rejected. They didn't know how to end it. Mr. Goof, today is just the first time we meet. In the future, with more contact, perhaps your thoughts will change. Why don't we give each other some time to get to know each other? Just when Gu Lai was about to speak to ease the atmosphere, Huozi suddenly stood up. At this moment, the previous displeasure on Huozi's face disappeared, and she showed the vitality and enthusiasm unique to an 18-year-old girl. She was full of the breath of youth. What's wrong with this woman? Hearing Huozi's answer, Goof couldn't help but frowned, feeling a little strange. My charm is so great. This is the first time we meet. Okay, the other party is going to make a fuss about marrying me? Yes, I think Huozi's personality is quite compatible with Goof, and elder of the Gu clan nodded. Obviously, in this occasion, Huozi behaved generously and showed sincerity. At this moment, more than half of the elders of the Gu clan agreed with this marriage. In the eyes of these old guys, the combination of the geniuses of the two clans is very suitable. Huozi, this girl, is still so reckless. Elder Huo Yao's face was a little serious. Huozi's behavior, to put it bluntly, was like flattering someone to marry her. If Goof directly rejected her again, the Yan clan would probably lose all face this time. Goof, marriage is hard to say, so don't make a decision too early. Think about it. A voice sounded above the hall, and everyone looked at it. It was Gu Yuan, the patriarch of the Gu clan, who was sitting at the first seat in the hall. This person was Goof's former father-in-law. The last time Goof wanted to separate from Xun'er, Gu Yuan said something similar to what he said today. He was really good at smoothing things over. Although Gu Yuan did not emit any pressure at this time, he was so calm that everyone in the hall had to be serious. Gu Yuan's majesty was not only because he was the patriarch of the Gu clan, but more because of his terrifying cultivation that was the best among all. Gu Lai also knew the depth of the situation. Gu Yuan's words were to protect the face of the Yan clan delegation. Child, since the Yan clan is so sincere, you should just go out with Huozi for the time being, Gu Lai advised Goof beside him. Originally, Goof mustered up the courage not to listen to Gu Yuan's words this time, but now that Grandpa Gu Lai has spoken, he nodded and agreed. Anyway, this time he agreed. It was not really a marriage contract. After the banquet, he could always find a reason to refuse this matter. Young people, spend more time together. Maybe there will be feelings. Elder Huo Yao's hanging heart finally relaxed. At least, at this banquet, the Gu clan took care of the Yan clan's face. As for whether this matter can be accomplished, it depends on whether Huozi has the ability. How can father be so muddy? Seeing that things have developed to this point, Xun'er's face is very ugly. She blamed her father Gu Yuan in her heart. If it weren't for Gu Yuan's words, perhaps this matter would have ended here. And now, Huozi continues to stay in the ancient world, and things are unknown. Next, the banquet continued, and Huozi took the initiative to come to Goof. In terms of appearance, Huozi is definitely a rare beauty, and she also has a mysterious temperament. The other young generations of the Gu clan are very envious. Mr. Goof, would you like a drink? Huozi raised her wine glass towards Goof, stretched out her arms, and behaved gracefully. Her face, beautiful, revealed a mysterious charm, which made people unconsciously want to explore and uncover the mysterious veil. Ms. Huozi, please. Goof raised his wine glass and did not say much, which made Huozi a little embarrassed. I heard that Mr. Goof has made great achievements in the way of refining medicine. There are too few alchemists like you who are proficient in refining medicine without delaying their practice. Huo Huozi was rejected by others. He continued to find topics. Gu Fei responded with a few words without losing his courtesy. Humphrey, seeing Huozi and Gu Fei chatting over there, Xun'er was very angry, especially when Huozi gave her a look in the middle of the conversation. That look was exactly the same as the one Xun'er had used to provoke Huozi before, and now it was returned. Do you think that this will make Brother Gu Fei change his mind? Xun'er clenched her fists and drank alone. Although other young men from the Gu clan came to chat with her, she ignored them. Finally, Xun'er survived the banquet with difficulty and found her father alone. Father, why did you stop Gu Fei just now? Isn't it good that he refused? Xun'er said with grievance. Xun'er, for Gu Fei, Huozi of the Yan clan is indeed a good match. Could it be that you still want to get back together with him? Gu Yuan frowned slightly and said. Chapter 121 3 Women on a Drama. Xun'er was obviously a little anxious when Gu Yuan asked her this. She couldn't say what she wanted to say. Am I really willing to do this? The image of Gu Fei appeared in her mind, and Xun'er felt empty in her heart. After a moment of silence, she nodded slightly and said in a very weak voice, yes. Alas, after getting Xun'er's answer, Gu Yuan sighed. His expression was very helpless. Xun'er, you should know that it was your fault that you divorced Gu Fei. Since you still like him now, why did you do such a thing in the first place? Gu Yuan has a good temper. As the head of the family, he is always calm, but every time he thinks of this incident, he feels angry. He is angry at his disappointing daughter. Xun'er also knows that she is wrong, so she lowered her head and said nothing. I won't get involved in your affairs with Gu Fei anymore, lest that boy resent me in the future. Also, you have a good talent. If you keep entangled in such things, I'm afraid that even the best talent will be delayed. Seeing Xun'er silent, Gu Yuan left a word and disappeared in front of Xun'er. Some pain should be deeply felt by Xun'er, otherwise, under her own pampering, she will always be a proud and arrogant princess who never grows up. After Gu Yuan left, Xun'er stood there alone, looking at the empty surroundings, at a loss. She didn't expect that even her father would not support her now that she wanted to find Gu Fei. Was it wrong what she did at the beginning? Will she and Gu Fei have no chance again? Women are really more difficult than one another. Xun'er hasn't gotten rid of it yet, and here comes Huozi. After the banquet, Gu Fei returned to his mountain. Originally thought that Huozi would retreat when he knew the difficulty because of what he said so decisively, but he didn't expect that he would rely on himself, which was difficult to deal with. Brother Gu Fei, you are back. How are things going? Seeing Gu Fei's return, Yan asked before Xiao spoke. Gu Fei heard it, looked at Xiao and said, Huozi is indeed here to propose marriage to my Gu clan, and the one he is proposing marriage to is me. Hearing this, Xiao smiled and joked, Brother Gu Fei, wouldn't you be moved by the beauty throwing herself into your arms? Of course I didn't agree. After the Huo clan envoys stated their intentions, I rejected them on the spot, but Huozi took the initiative to say that she would make a decision after communicating for a while. What's there to communicate with her? Let me communicate with her with my fists. Yan gestured with her little fists to show her brute force. She is a Zong. You can't beat her, Gu Fei said faintly. Hearing this, Yan touched her head and smiled awkwardly. I can't beat her, but I have you. Gu Fei patted Yan's head, and didn't talk to Yan anymore. Instead, he looked at Xiao and gently took her into his arms. I don't have any plans to communicate with her, but the clan leader came out and asked me to spend a few more days with her. The clan leader is giving face to the Yan clan, and my grandfather is also involved, so I can't offend them. It's a temporary solution, so I can only agree first. Gu Fei's patient and gentle explanation made Xiao feel warm in her heart. She felt very relieved about Gu Fei, and even if he didn't explain, she would not doubt Gu Fei's feelings for her. It's okay, I believe you. Xiao grabbed Gu Fei's hand. It means that the woman will stay in the ancient world. Yan complained, but it doesn't matter, wait a few days, Brother Gu Fei, you can tell her clearly. After learning that Huozi was stronger than herself, Yan's tone was not so tough. Gu Fei knew very well that the elders in the clan had hardly considered Xiao's feelings. They just treated Gu Fei's current girlfriend as a transparent person, hiding a beautiful woman in a golden house. Gu Fei knew it well but was powerless. He is a genius, but a genius is not a strong man. Strength determines all the right to speak in the clan. Before he has strength worthy of the elders' attention, he has no right to speak. After explaining, Gu Fei carried Xiao Yan into the inner room. Seeing this, Yan and King Lin left tactfully. The next day, Gu Fei woke up and saw Xiao Yan still sleeping, so he kissed her red lips gently, and then got up and went to the training ground. What he didn't expect was that Huozi had been waiting here for a long time. "Good morning." Huozi saw Gu Fei coming and immediately greeted Gu Fei enthusiastically. "Good morning," Gu Fei replied casually, then turned around and left to train. Meet the fifth commander. The passing Hei Yan soldiers looked at Gu Fei with admiration in their eyes, which was a manifestation of respect. Seeing that Gu Fei had such prestige in the Hei Yan army, Huozi admired him more. Since ancient times, heroes love beauties, and beauties also love heroes. For a man like Gu Fei, even if he has a woman and is married, he probably can't stop other women from throwing themselves at him. Although Huozi is not at that point now, he can't stop his admiration for Gu Fei. "Brother Gu Fei, good morning." Huozi's heart was about to move, and suddenly another voice sounded beside him. Huozi looked carefully and saw that it was Xun'er. Xun'er noticed Huozi's gaze and looked back with a provocative look. Her eyes seemed to say, "Gu Fei is not your man. I will come to see him if I want to." The purpose of her coming this time was also very simple, that is, she didn't want Huozi and Gu Fei to be alone. Although she felt that Gu Fei would not be easily taken down by Huozi, she was still worried. If Huozi really succeeded in the end, she would really be ashamed. After all, Huozi had declared war on her at the banquet. Seeing Xun'er coming, Gu Fei frowned slightly. What are they going to do? "Good morning." Out of politeness, Gu Fei still responded to Xun'er, but his attitude was extremely indifferent, and he still walked forward without stopping. But before he took 2 steps, another pleasant female voice sounded. "Brother Gu Fei, the buttons of your clothes are not fastened." Gu Fei heard the words and suddenly stopped moving forward. He turned around and looked behind him. The person who came was Xiao Yan. "Why are you here? Weren't you asleep just now?" Gu Fei sent a message to Xiao Yan. "I was pretending to sleep. If I don't come again, you will be taken away by someone." Xiao Yan's arrogant voice sounded in Gu Fei's mind. She felt that she should take the initiative at this time and not let others take advantage of her. She landed in front of Gu Fei and put her hand on Gu Fei's collar, but there was no loose button there. She just deliberately unbuttoned one and buttoned it again. The purpose of her doing this was also very simple, that is, to declare her sovereignty. "No matter how you fight for Gu Fei is my man now. Her heart belongs to me." Gu Fei's originally hurried steps only stopped because of the little medical fairy. This was the tacit response between the two. Chapter 122 Xun'er, "If you want it, I'll give it to you." Seeing the heartwarming scene of Xiao Yan buttoning Gu Fei's shirt, Huozi felt a little envious. Even so, she did not forget to provoke Xun'er standing beside her, and said with a smile, "It seems that my enemy is not you." Her words immediately angered Xun'er, and Xun'er also said coldly, "You are not worthy of being my opponent. After all, I was Gu Fei's wife and was pursued fiercely by Gu Fei. Unlike you, I was rejected from the beginning. To be honest, I have never experienced the taste of being rejected." Xun'er's words were quite vicious. No matter how free and easy Huozi was, she felt a little hot on her face at this moment. She was a generation of pride in the Yan clan, and there were always people pursuing her in the Yan clan. In the past, she was the only one who rejected others, but coming here to be rejected is fine, and she was humiliated by one of his ex-wives. Huozi's brows flickered with a flame pattern, and his fighting spirit was on the verge of exploding. Seeing this, Xun'er quickly prepared for defense. "I dared to provoke Huozi simply because this was my territory. In terms of strength, I was not at the same level as Huozi. If Huozi's strange fire was released, I would be turned into ashes in an instant." Huozi's angry, emotional value increased by 30. This woman, she can't be so bold. Gu Fei, who was flirting with Xiao Yan, also noticed the difference between the two. If Huozi attacked Xun'er, I must stop him. Although he had no feelings for Xun'er now, they were from the same clan after all, and Xun'er was the daughter of the patriarch of the ancient clan. Gu would not allow Huozi to commit murder in the ancient world. Fortunately, Huozi suppressed his inner impulse, retracted his momentum in time, and looked back at Gu, ignoring Xun'er. Seeing this, Gu and Xiao Yan hugged each other and went to practice. Xiao Yan sat down next to the training ground, always smiling and watching Gu practice, with affection. Huozi and Xun'er never left. The two of them found a place to wait for Gu to finish the training. When the training was over, Gu saw the three women around him and noticed the strong smell of gunpowder in the air. He could only smile helplessly. Although the three women had spent a day in the training ground, only Xiao Yan was happy. Gu would cast a concerned look at her in his spare time, and sometimes he would come over to chat with her so that she would not be too bored. As for Xun'er and Huozi, Gu basically ignored them. The two of them sat on the bench for a whole day. Huozi didn't feel anything after sitting here for a whole day. She observed Gu's state during the training. His sense of superiority and majesty was the temperament of a natural top strong man. This temperament made her look at Gu with more strange eyes. Xun'er looked at the indifferent Gu. Her mind was dazed, and she felt more lost and helpless. Does he really not have me in his heart? Xun'er's eyes were blurred, as if she couldn't see Gu clearly. That night, didn't he ask me if I was willing to give my body to him? Xun'er's memories came to the night when Gu asked him to divorce her. Everything that happened that night was replayed in her mind. If I had given it to him that day, would we not have separated? He wanted to get me. He liked me very much. But I hurt him too deeply. I will use myself to make up for it. Gradually, Xun'er's eyes became firm. Since you want it, I will give it to you. The next day, Gu was not in the mountain. Xiao Yan and King Lin were practicing, and no one was playing with Yan, so Yan was forced to practice. As time passed, Yan, who had accepted some of the ancient dragon clan's inheritance, became more and more proficient in controlling the power of space. Who is it? Suddenly, Yan felt a sudden vibration in a space on the mountain, and a figure appeared immediately. Yan immediately ended her practice and appeared in front of the bamboo building in an instant. She saw a girl looking around in front of the bamboo building. What are you doing sneakily? Yan looked at the girl vigilantly. The girl waved her hands and said, Young lady, you misunderstood. I am here on the orders of Master Gu to invite you to a banquet. He is waiting for you there. Brother Gu called us. Xiao Yan and King Lin also noticed the movement, woke up from their practice, and came to Yan's side. Yes, Master Gu is waiting for you there. Please go quickly, the girl said anxiously. Then let's go. Venerable Skyfire, Lion King, I'll leave this place to you. Xiao Yan had just finished her instructions when the girl said, Master Gu said that all of you should go. Everyone go? Venerable Skyfire frowned slightly when he heard this, always feeling that something was wrong. But this is the territory of the ancient clan. If the ancient clan wanted to plot against them, why would they need to go through so much trouble? If there is no danger, just go. If there is danger, they will definitely not be able to escape. It is better to go openly. After thinking it over, Venerable Skyfire and Lion King also followed. After everyone left the mountain, a cyan figure appeared in Gu's room. It was Xun'er. Xun'er took a look at Gu's bed. She smelled the scent of Xiao Yan on it. This woman. All of this was originally mine. Xun'er snorted angrily and threw Xiao Yan out of her mind. Thinking of what she was going to do next, her pretty face turned red unconsciously. Not long after, Gu came back. Why is there only one person? Is it her? Gu frowned. With his soul power, he had already sensed that Xiao Yan, King Lin and others were not on the mountain. The person in his room was Xun'er. What are you doing here? Where did they go? Gu flashed into the room and asked Xun'er in a cold voice. Xun'er had just finished bathing at this moment, and there was still mist on her hair, which added a touch of charm to her pure face. She looked at Gu with a seductive look, and her charming appearance shocked Gu. Brother Gu, they are safe. We haven't been alone like this for a long time. Xun'er was only wearing a thin dress, because there was still water on her body. The dress was very close to Xun'er's skin, which set off her graceful and exquisite figure to the fullest. Xun'er walked with a cat step, and her snow-white legs were faintly visible under the cover of the dress. What do you want to do? Gu took a step back and shouted to keep himself rational. Brother Gu, Haven't you always wanted to get my body? Today, I will give myself to you completely. After Xun'er finished speaking, she gently pulled the belt, and the dress slipped down, and her white jade body suddenly appeared naked in front of Gu Fei. This body is like a piece of exquisite art. There is not a single flaw. Brother Gu Fei, it was all my fault before. Can you forgive me? Can we start over? As Xun'er spoke, her jade hand unconsciously reached towards Gu Fei's cheek. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123. Any woman will do, except you. Get lost. Although Xun'er was standing in front of him naked and looked extremely tempting, Gu Fei still suppressed the instinctive impulse of his body. He raised his hand and mercilessly slapped Xun'er's delicate hand away. Pa! Gu Fei's hand just slapped Xun'er's wrist, and a crisp sound rang out as he slapped her wrist away. Xun'er looked at her slightly red wrist, her eyes full of endless grievances. She couldn't hold back her tears and instantly poured into her eyes. She felt that Gu Fei didn't slap her hand just now, but slapped her heart, smashing her heart into pieces, and the stinging feeling was so real. Huff, huh. Xun'er put her hand on her heart and breathed deeply. Xun'er has an extremely sad emotion, and the emotion value increases by 200. Gu Fei looked at the sobbing Xun'er indifferently. His eyes were extremely cold, as if he had no emotions. Although the naked Xun'er was tempting, in Gu Fei's eyes, she was no different from a statue, because he hated this woman very much. Soon Xun'er stopped sobbing. She raised her head and looked at Gu Fei. Tears were forced back into her eyes. Her eyes were bloodshot. Gu Fei saw hysterical madness in them. Gu Fei, do you hate me so much? How come you have changed so much in less than a year? You used to be so caring and proactive towards me, and you wouldn't let me suffer any grievances. But what about you now? I'm already so lowly and naked standing in front of you. What else do you want from me? Xun'er screamed at the top of her lungs. She had already taken the initiative to throw herself into his arms, but was still ruthlessly rejected. Thinking back to the past, the huge gap made Xun'er feel like she was about to suffocate. She felt a sense of despair as if she had fallen into a bottomless abyss. Looking at the screaming Xun'er, Gu Fei's eyes showed no mercy, and he still said in a cold voice, "You also said that those were in the past. I won't be so stupid now. Also, you asked me why I have changed so much. Do I deserve to stay in your so-called husband and wife cage? You and I were husband and wife in name before, but were we husband and wife in reality? Isn't it okay for me to be husband and wife in reality now?" Xun'er continued to scream. "Now you know. What did you do before? When I was devoted to you and wanted to give you all the good things, what were you doing? When I was disappointed and lonely again and again because of your indifference, what were you doing? When I couldn't wait to get you, what were you doing? What did you do in return? You put all your thoughts on another man. I absolutely can't want a woman who is unfaithful in marriage." Gu Fei's attitude was extremely firm, and he didn't leave Xun'er even a little bit of mercy. Xun'er felt that she was not only naked in front of Gu Fei, but she seemed to have even shed a layer of skin. That layer of skin was trampled again and again under Gu Fei's feet, and it was covered with dust and scars. Its name was shame. I've said it before, I have never let you down. If you don't believe me, I can prove my innocence now. You'll know if you want me. Xun'er raised her head and chest, showing her figure more perfectly. She said a little morbidly, she wanted to prove her innocence. And the best way to prove her innocence was to give herself to Gu Fei. As long as he wanted her, he would know that she was innocent when he saw the blood. She had not had an affair with any man, but what Xun'er didn't understand was that physical cheating and mental cheating were no different. Xun'er's words had reached this point, but Gu Fei was still ruthless, and even had a little more disgust in his eyes that he had never had before. Today, if any naked beauty came to my door, I would probably want her, but you, Xun'er, I can't. Gu Fei refused again. I regret what happened before after the divorce. I was wrong and I can change. Why can't you forgive me? Xun'er felt extremely wronged. You regret it? Gu Fei smiled coldly when he heard this. What did you do after the divorce? Do you think I don't know? Don't tell me that you went to the northwest continent to follow me instead of to see your brother Xiao Yan? Do you dare to say that your brother Xiao Yan is no longer in your heart? You are thinking about your brother Xiao Yan, but you are throwing yourself into my arms here, saying that you regret and can change? If this is your repentance, it is really a big joke of the Gu clan. Gu asked continuously with cold eyes. Xun'er was silent for a moment, hesitating to speak. She wanted to say something else, but she was in the wrong after all. Where are they? Don't challenge my patience. Gu's voice became cold again. He was worried about the safety of Xiao and others. Seeing Xun'er's crazy and sick appearance now, he was worried that Xun'er would kill Xiao and others in anger. He swore that if Xiao and the others met with an accident because of Xun'er, he would kill them at all costs, even if he was now against the clan leader. Don't worry, I won't do anything to them. I asked someone to invite them to a banquet. If you are not here, they will be back soon, Xun'er whispered. She knew that her hesitation in answering the question just now had already determined that she would never be able to save Gu today. If she really did something wrong to Xiao and the others, it would only make Gu hate her even more. Gu, I will definitely find your love again. Before I get your love again, I will try to change. Xun'er bent down to pick up the clothes scattered on the ground, hurriedly put them on, walked out of the bamboo building unwillingly, and then walked down the mountain like a lost soul, but met Huozi halfway. Huozi was walking towards the mountain, and it seemed that his purpose was to find Gu. Why did she come down from here? At the entrance of the mountain road, Huozi also saw Xun'er, with a surprised expression on his face. She had just found out where Gu lived not long ago and was planning to come here to take a look. Unexpectedly, she saw Xun'er coming down here for the first time. Moreover, Xun'er looked dazed and disheveled at the moment, and Huozi felt a little doubtful. Various guesses came into Huozi's mind, but he always felt that none of them were reliable, so he might as well ask directly. Why are you here? Huozi stopped in front of Xun'er and asked directly. Xun'er saw Huozi coming and knew that Huozi wanted to communicate with Gu to promote their relationship, and she immediately felt unhappy. She had just fled in a hurry, and she couldn't let other women be proud. I'm his ex-wife. I've been to this place countless times. Is there anything strange? Xun'er adjusted her emotions and spoke tit for tat. Chapter 124 Queen Medusa. Didn't you say that you would want it after I took it off? This chapter is under review by the system. It will take a long time to complete the review. I chose to republish it. There is a chance that it will be released tomorrow morning. I will deal with it in time. Really? I heard that you have been married to Gu for half a year, but you have never had a substantial husband-wife relationship with him. Although I don't know much about this, but without the reality of husband-wife, you can't be called a real husband-wife. You should not object. What's more, it is rumored that after you married Gu, you still thought about other men in your heart and treated other men well. Only Miss Xun'er can do such a thing. Huozi frowned slightly, feeling unhappy with Xun'er's provocative and sarcastic words, but suddenly thought of something, raised the corners of his mouth, revealed a smug smile, and sneered back. If Xun'er really had something unspeakable with Gu just now, she would definitely not be in this state of expression. Why did you run away? It is said that when something like that happens between men and women, shouldn't both parties enjoy it? You, Huozi, who had just been rejected by Gu, said such words again, which undoubtedly touched Xun'er's sore spot. Xun'er immediately became angry and embarrassed. Don't forget, this is the ancient world. You are a foreigner. I can kill you at any time. Xun'er threatened Huozi. Of course I know this is the ancient world. Do you think Miss Xun'er will attack my guest just because I tell you a few truths? Besides, although your ancient clan is powerful, my Yan clan is not weak either. If I encounter an accident in the ancient clan, the elders of the clan will definitely not let it go. Do you want to cause a dispute between the two clans? Or, Ms. Xun'er plans to duel with me? Huozi was not afraid of Xun'er's threat at all. She even took the opportunity to mock Xun'er's low strength. Xun'er was dazed by Huozi's words. The world in front of her was pale and shaky. The honor that had always supported her heart was torn to pieces in front of people who were getting stronger and stronger. If her strength was stronger than Huozi today, why would she need to be humiliated by her like this? If she was stronger than Gu, How could she be rejected by him so blatantly? Xun'er gradually became firm in her heart. It seems that no matter what, my own strength must be strong. My talent is no worse than anyone else. If I don't want to be despised, I must improve my strength. It's useless to be jealous blindly. Brother Gu Fei will not like Huozi just because of this period of time. After figuring out some things in her heart, Xun'er glanced at Huozi and walked away. This woman, how could she suddenly change so much? Xun'er's calm and firm eyes surprised Huozi, but she didn't think about it, but continued to walk along the original route. In the bamboo building at the top of the mountain, after Xun'er left, Gu Fei's mood calmed down a little. This woman, even after the divorce, would make him angry from time to time, and the key is that from time to time she would cause unnecessary trouble for him, making him feel very irritated. I don't know where Xiao and the others are. Gu Fei was silent for a while, and was about to pick up Xiao and the others. At this moment, colorful light flashed in his sleeves. Then, a naked and charming figure appeared in front of him. This naked figure was extremely tempting. Snow-white skin, charming face, and a pair of long white legs that were longer than life seemed to be able to squeeze out water, crystal clear, making people want to touch them. Every bit of this woman stimulated the man's senses. What are you doing? Gu Fei was stunned. Even he couldn't control such a beautiful body. Before, Xun'er stood naked in front of him, which was a natural reaction. But because it was Xun'er, and in view of Xun'er's previous disgusting behavior, Gu Fei restrained his body instincts. Now, Queen Medusa is doing this again, and he really can't stand it. Her temperament is completely different from Xun'er. Queen Medusa herself has a queen-like appearance. Her every frown and smile brings natural sexiness. Her extremely hot body is like a dream that makes people fantasize and desire day and night. She doesn't even need to do anything. Just standing here can make people imagine. If Queen Medusa adds some provocative postures and movements, I'm afraid no man in the world can keep his heart. If she has the devil fruit of the Empress, the whole world will be petrified by her. What, not good looking, or don't want to see it? Queen Medusa opened her red lips slightly and looked at Gu Fei with a playful expression. Gu Fei's eyes were slightly evasive, but the hormones released could not deceive people. Her voice was like a cold wind wrapped in a heat wave, blowing on Gu Fei. That feeling first made Gu Fei's whole body tremble with refreshment, and then the heat wave hit. An uncontrollable burning sensation rose from Gu Fei's lower abdomen and swept all over his body. Didn't you just say that today, no matter who gets naked, you will take it? Queen Medusa's delicate body leaned over, and then directly approached Gu Fei. Snake people belong to Yuan, and every inch of her skin is cold, but at this moment, it gave Gu Fei a hot and scorching feeling. In the snake people, Queen Medusa's husband must be stronger than the queen herself, and Queen Medusa also agrees with this. During this period of time, Queen Medusa stayed by Gu Fei's side and was already impressed by Gu Fei's strong talent and strength. Moreover, she had seen too many erotic scenes between Gu Fei and Xiao, and had seen Gu Fei's majestic body, and had already had some abnormal ideas. At this moment, she was stimulated by Xun'er again, so she would do this. At this moment, as Queen Medusa approached, Gu felt a sense of blood spurting. His reason was gradually occupied by the fanatical impulse in the man's heart. Queen Medusa approached Gu Fei. Gu Fei's nerves were greatly stimulated. Gu Fei struggled with his inner perfunctory thoughts while naturally extending his hand. Although the snowy mountain was very cold, Gu Fei, who was climbing to the top of the snowy mountain, felt hot. At this critical moment, a clear female voice suddenly sounded outside the door. "Mr. Gu Fei, are you there?" Gu Fei was shocked when he heard the voice. His attention was completely attracted by the jade body of Queen Medusa, and he did not notice that there were other people coming to the mountain. "Huozi, what is she doing here?" Gu Fei felt very confused and even complained when he noticed that Huozi had come. She came not earlier or later, but when he was about to fight. At this time, Gu Fei was like an arrow on the string, and he could not suppress the heat in his heart. "Why is that woman here at this time? If she ruins my good things, I will not forgive her." Queen Medusa was the same. There was a bit of resentment in her charming eyes. Chapter 125 Fairy, come and fight. "Ms. Huozi, are you okay?" Hearing the knock on the door outside the bamboo building, Gu Fei waved his hand and quickly set up a seal in the bamboo building. and then sent a message to Huozi outside the bamboo building. Huozi did not get a response and planned to push the door directly in. Because the bamboo building was sealed, she could not feel any movement in the room. Hearing Guf's message, Huozi slowly withdrew her hand on the door. I heard that Master Guf controls many kinds of strange fires. So many strange fires gathered in the Master's body, but the Master can be safe and sound. I believe that the Master's fire control technique must have reached the pinnacle. So, this time, I want to come to you to explore the knowledge of fire control. I wonder if Master Guf has time? Outside, Huozi said with a smile, her face full of enthusiasm. Usually, she is called an iceberg beauty in the clan. All this is completely different when dealing with Guf. Guf frowned slightly when he heard it, and said without hesitation, "Sorry, I have something else to do, so it's not convenient for the time being. Let's talk about it when there is a chance." What kind of international joke is this? At this time, how could Guf put down the fairy queen Medusa and discuss some so-called fire control techniques with Huozi? Hearing the ruthless words from Guf in the room, Huozi's expression, which was originally enthusiastic, froze and became a little disappointed. Huozi feels disappointed, and his emotion value increases by 30. Queen Medusa feels proud, and her emotion value increases by 100. He actually rejected himself so ruthlessly. Don't I have any advantages? Huozi fell into self-doubt. But he didn't know that Guf just had an urgent matter, a battle that must be resolved immediately. Are you worried that Xiao Yan will be unhappy if she knows? Mr. Guf, I just came to ask about some fire control techniques. Xiao Yan won't be angry if she knows. I think she shouldn't be such a stingy person. Huozi is still fighting for it. In the room, Guf, who was hugging the delicate body of Queen Medusa, couldn't help but reveal a helpless bitter smile when he heard these words. What happened today? Even Huozi's words became a little The scorching breath in the air made it increasingly difficult for Guf to suppress his inner restlessness. He didn't have time to think about anything, and hurriedly replied to Huozi outside, "No, I really have something to do. You hurry up and leave." Guf continued to urge, "What exactly is the matter with Mr. Guf? Can I help?" Huozi continued to care about Guf. Hearing this, Guf was stunned. "Help? This kind of help? Can you help casually? Are you going to do a naked temptation too?" If two peerless beauties were in full view in front of him, he would lose his mind on the spot and become a slave to his nature. "You leaving now is the best help to me." Guf continued to transmit the message. "It's okay. Since Master Guf is busy, I'll wait here." Huozi was very stubborn. Since he was here today, he must see Guf. After saying that, Huozi actually sat outside and waited quietly for Guf to come out. "If you want to wait, just wait. Anyway, I can't help it." Guf was too lazy to pay attention to Huozi. He set up a ban in the bamboo building. With Huozi's strength, he couldn't see what was happening inside, so Guf was not worried. In the room, Queen Medusa's jade hands were also on Guf's chest. She had obviously changed into a human form, but her body was still like a slippery snake, twisting silkily. "Fairy, come and fight." Guf no longer held back. He stretched out his big hand, embraced Queen Medusa's slender waist, and then lowered his head. He kissed her red lips directly. The two came to the bed unknowingly. Feeling Guf's body temperature, Queen Medusa's body felt a little soft at this moment. Then, the atmosphere in the room suddenly became extremely charming. Just like that, Huozi waited outside, while Guf was having sex with the queen. On a peak of the ancient Saint Mountains, a small party was being held. Many young people from the ancient clan attended the banquet. Sister Xiao Yan, why do I feel like it wasn't Brother Guf who asked us to come? Yan had been at the banquet for a long time, looking around, trying to find a few familiar faces, but the result was that they were all strangers, and even their strength was a bit inferior. Although Yan didn't know much about the ways of the world, these people obviously couldn't get into Guf's circle. So why did Guf ask them to come? I also find it strange. Little friend Guf asked us to come, but why haven't we seen Guf yet? Venerable Danhao also found it strange. He just saw that these people had no hostility, so he didn't say anything. Next, King Lin and the Lion King also said that this banquet didn't seem to be invited by Guf. Everyone was talking, and then they all looked at Xiao Yan, Who would make the decision? Xiao Yixian swept her eyes over the people present, but found that no one was paying attention to this place at all. Then let's go back, maybe it was a prank played by that woman before. Xiao Yixian stood up, the others followed Xiao Yixian. Miss Xiao Yixian, why did you leave without saying goodbye? Were you not happy enough at the banquet? A young woman from the ancient tribe suddenly blocked Xiao Yixian's way. This person was the one who went to Gu Fei mountain to invite them. Xiao Yixian looked at her with cold eyes. The unique cold temperament of the evil poison body was fully revealed at this moment. Get out of the way. Xiao Yixian was too lazy to explain and said coldly, Brother Gu Fei hasn't come yet. Miss Xiao Yixian, please sit down for a while. After the woman finished speaking, she pushed Xiao Yixian with a momentum. From what she meant, she actually wanted to force Xiao Yixian to stay here. Seeing this, Dan Hao Venerable did not tolerate it and directly used his fighting spirit to counterattack. The woman was immediately forced to retreat by Dan Hao Venerable, her face pale. Zun. She looked at Dan Hao Venerable in horror and did not dare to step forward to stop him. Zun can only be dealt with by the elders of the tribe. With the support of the Skyfire Venerable, Xiao Yixian and the others returned to the mountain smoothly, but they saw Huozi waiting outside the room. Ms. Huozi, why are you here? Xiao Yixian stepped forward and asked, I came to see Master Gu Fei, but he has something to do and doesn't want to see me for the time being. Huozi didn't shy away and said directly, she was so straightforward and didn't like to hide things. Is Brother Gu Fei in there? It seems that someone is really playing a prank. Xiao Yixian was very angry when she heard that Gu Fei was at home. It couldn't be that Gu Fei stood them up tonight. I think she is the one who did it. She deliberately led us away so that she could be alone with Brother Gu Fei. Ziyan suspected that Huozi was the one who did it. Maybe you misunderstood. Before I came here, I saw Miss Xun'er from the Gu clan coming down the mountain. Huozi explained frankly. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.